IRFM wishes to advise that the views expressed on the Cutting Edge are not necessarily those of the company.
See you listening to your radio. Whoa. Cutting Edge is on your stereo. Yeah. Mutabaruka leads the way. So just you let the station play. Yeah. Say your teachings got to hold on me. Yeah. But this is Kimani and you're listening to Mutabaruka. IRFM, Cutting Edge. Whoa!
Teach these truths to your children. Teach your children that they need nothing exterior to themselves to be happy. No person, place, or thing, and that true happiness is found within. Teach them that they are sufficient unto themselves. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that failure is a fiction, that every trying is a success, and that every effort is what achieves the victory. The first no less honorable than the last. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that they are deeply connected to all of life, that they are one with all people, and that they are never separate from God. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that they live in a world of magnificent abundance, that there is enough for everyone, and that it is in sharing the most, not in gathering the most, that the most is received. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there is nothing that they are required to be or to do to be eligible for a life of dignity and fulfillment, that they need not compete with anyone for anything, and that God's blessings are meant for everyone. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly.
Teach your children that they will never be judged, that they need not worry about always getting it right, and that they do not have to change anything or get better to be seen as perfect and beautiful in the eyes of God. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that consequences and punishment are not the same thing, that death does not exist, and that God would never condemn anyone. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there are no conditions to love, that they need not worry about ever losing your love or God's, and that their own love, unconditionally shared, is the greatest gift they can give to the world. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that being special does not mean being better, that claiming superiority over someone is not seeing them for who they really are, and that there is great healing in acknowledging mine is not a better way, mine is merely another way. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there is nothing they cannot do, that the illusion of ignorance can be eradicated from the earth, and that all anyone really needs is to be given back to themselves by being reminded of who they really are. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach these things not with your words, but with your actions, not with discussion, but with demonstration. For it is not what you do that your children will emulate, but how you are that they will become.
With Mutabaruka, we are listening to now. In the ear, continent, the end, the end. Yes, I know
don't love me, yes, I know now. 'Cause you left me, baby, and I've got no place to go now. No, no, no. I'll do anything you say, boy. No, no, no. I'll do anything you say, boy. 'Cause if you ask me, baby, I'll get on my knees and pray, boy.
You are listening to Mutabaruka. What is this? You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to the whole of it. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
What is? What is? What is this? What is? Protest, unrest, and one more time. Another system is put to the test. What is?
Teacher teach, lawyer allow, preacher preach,
Police are draw.
stick it up. Now what is?
What is? remix style, Sly and Robbie with Nomad. Yeah, we're there with your cutting edge. Yeah, man. With the new faces in other places. Yes. Brian there with me. In a plastic jacket. May I tell you? Yeah, man. Sly and Rabbit take a touch to this tune and make it sound totally different. Why you look Monique? Monique, right? Yeah, so yes, Muta. Monique is a new kid on the block when it come on to cutting edge. I hope she have it for the next 20 years. Believe you me, I hope she have it for the next 20 years. Monique, I want you to sit down right where you sit down there so now, you see? And watch Brian till 2 o'clock. And you got, seriously. Because what I do now is when him start though every night. Him look for Alkaline, look for Vibes Cartel, and then him start to sleep. I don't know what's wrong with them two picture there, why every time him look on them him sleep. You know, something about the picture them. you don't say Alkaline get fat now. Alkaline get fat now. We know they're supposed to love him picture more now. No, you prefer when him slim? Then now you watch him so much on the computer. Yes, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. You know, say, I got through some old Cutting Edge tapes from a player from years ago, and a catalog where a sister, and Cobia, why you look a sister there, from England, is the first person that I know will actually catalog the Cutting Edge program them. Catalog them the right way and label it and everything and give me them as a package. Long time I don't hear from her, long time I don't talk to her. I don't know how I'm to her, which part she there, but anybody who know her, tell her, say, Mutabaruka, yell her up. Yes, it's long time I don't see her or hear from her. It's the first sister we actually catalog the Cutting Edge tape them, put them together upon a CD with label and everything, and give me them when we there in England. So, we want to build up on Kobe. Believe you me, she really do a big work when she give me that. Because I know said that is a archive in itself. And we see a youth that do it with the Cutting Edge and the Stepping Razor on the YouTube. Anyway, them want to yell them up. I don't know how. It's more than one youth still. But I want to yell them up because most of the times, anywhere we go in the world and people say them hear the Cutting Edge, them always I wonder if RFM don't put them up on an archives thing. But them say, I know nothing because them go up on YouTube and listen. So, we want to yell up them people there, Believe you me, we want to yell them up. Okay, so as we say, we have go through some archival tapes and we're going to do this month, in November this, we're going to do it archival on the Cutting Edge. We're going to play back some tape where we did play over the years. You understand that? You know, a whole heap of people are listening, I know we never used to listen when we play them thing, But we feel like them still relevant on a whole heap of way. So, as soon as we clear out them whole heap of advertisements, we're going to go continue. Where's another advertisement? 10:30? Alright, so we can just go on with some little things, little music and little thing before we give you the cooks. Not even the cooks, the meat or the matter, or that them call it. A two terrible thing that meat and matter. That's a terrible combination.
Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Questions Protestants Can't Answer. Today's question is, who wrote the Gospel of Mark? And how do you know? I'm John Martinoni, president and founder of the Bible Christian Society, And today's question is focused on the idea of sola scriptura, which is Latin for the Bible alone, or the Bible only, which is one of the fundamental pillars of most of Protestantism, that we can know all we need to know about our Christian faith and about Christian morals by simply picking up the Bible and reading. So this question, who wrote the book of Mark, is a very important question, because what it does is, if all I need to know about Christianity I get from the Bible, if the Bible is my sole authority in matters of faith and morals, which it is for most Protestants, how can they answer that question? Because nowhere in the Bible does it tell us who wrote the book of Mark. This thing right here at the beginning of the Gospel of Mark in Scripture that says, the Gospel according to Mark, that's not inspired Scripture. That's put in there by the publisher of the Bible. We don't have any originals from Mark that say, I, Mark, wrote this Gospel, or that say the Gospel according to Mark. So again, if you go by the Bible alone, how do you know that Mark wrote Mark? That somebody named Mark even wrote Mark? And how do you know that that Mark was inspired? Where in the Bible does it tell you who wrote the Gospel of Mark, so that you may trust that it is inspired Scripture? Because if you don't know who wrote it, how can you know it's inspired Scripture? This is very, very important. So as Catholics, we need to ask everyone who believes in the Bible alone as their sole rule of faith, who wrote Mark? And if they say Mark, the secretary of Peter and companion of Paul, the next question is, how do you know? Because I read Mark and there's nothing here that says, I, Mark, companion of Peter and Paul, wrote this gospel. Nothing in Luke that tells me. Nothing in Paul's letters that tells me who wrote the Gospel of Mark. So what authority are you relying on? It's not the Scriptures to know who wrote Mark. So again, the question is, who wrote the Gospel of Mark, and how do you know?
R.E.F.M. Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yeah, for those of you who have been asking us, when we say ask, we mean ask me, because no place to go all over the place and people ask me. I am told that you can get the programs on demand. So when you go to the website, yes, if you are a contributor, you pay your money and thing, you can get it on demand. So for those of you who've been asking me, and we are talking about in Africa especially, believe you be, all the countries, them, Nigeria, Senegal, Gambia, South Africa, we will visit this year. Like all the rest them in South Africa will ask me, on demand. That is how it go, on demand. You can get it. So if you want to listen to the Cutting Edge and the Stepping Razor, you go there and you get it on demand. Okay, we continue the journey. As we say, we got through the archives and we want to present some tape from them time. They want to present this tape named Money. But before we do it, as we say, the advertisement, them no advertisement time. You know, say, me have mentioned the sister England go behind, and me just remember say, one brethren have some money for me. One African brother have some money for me in England, and I'm supposed to send it. And Korea, we want to say, heal up. Believe you me. Anyway, them want to say, heal up. You know why? You know, say, me all I remember say, you did shoot the performance from the door in a Birmingham, that place there, yeah. And it's supposed to edit out and make it into a video. And this African man have some money for me, and I tell him, say, all right, here what you going to do? When you get the money, you're going to send it to this daughter, to my brother named David. Obviously, him not send no money, so obviously, the tape still put on there and no edit. So, I have to go find the African brother there. I have to go find him. I hear same place locked down in Ireland and there, so I don't know if I can find him. Maybe him gone back to Ghana, I don't know. Maybe him gone Liberia. Who to tell? Okay, continue.
Listening to Mutabaruka.
He became aware that this gentleman was about to come to Jamaica. Was he traveling here on the invitation of the organizers of the $1 million? Well, it's really $1 million, it's $4 million.
Floating lazily through the market like a butterfly. Oh yeah, I won't forget the day the sun came shining in. Hey, hey now, oh yeah, just like the dawn, bringing in the rays for that sunshine in Congo. A flaming torch, she lit up the marketplace so brightly. Colors in a flower garden, gracing Helapa, shimmering in purples and the yellows, and all the shades sparkling in the skies in the rainbows of the Congo. In a million braids, eyes lit up like the northern star, a smile that leaves a spell when she goes to look into my eyes. She's turning me on with fever as she passes me by. Hey mama, suddenly I'm walking right beside her, really turning her on. When I tell her I'm going wherever, she'll be going when she leaves the market. Right away, I go to carry her bag of vegetables. Hey, hey, now we walk towards the road that goes down to the village. Ooh, mama, she locks the door that leads into her heart. I said, the talking drums and the xylophones, all the dum-dums and the tumbas, they were waiting. We had a night time of ecstasy, and we woke up to the roar of the lion. She had to rise to the marketplace, to her vegetable stall at the marketplace. That's where the sun rises. I won't forget the day the sun came shining in. I won't forget the day the sun came shining in. I won't forget the day the sun came shining, 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 shining in. I won't forget the day the sun came shining, 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 shining in. I won't forget the day the sun came shining, shining,
shining, shining.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to all of it. In the ear, continent, the end, the end.
When the white men first came here from over the seas, he looked and he said, "This is God's own country." He was mighty well pleased with this land that he found, and he said, "I will make him my own piece of ground." Now many's the battle he still had to fight, and many's the family who died in the night. 'Cause many's the black men who lived all around, all of them wanting their own piece of ground. Then one fine day in 1883, gold was discovered in good quantity. Now the country was rich and was richer than planned, and its digger wanted his own piece of land. White diggers were few and the gold was so deep. Black man was called 'cause his labor was cheap. With crowel and a shovel, it's all underground. 6 pennies a day to tender the ground. Now this land is so rich and it seems strange to me that the black man whose labor has helped it to be cannot enjoy the fruits that abound. He's uprooted and kicked from its own piece of land. Why some people say, "Now don't you worry, we'll get you a nice piece of reserved territory, but I'll give my love that 10 million can be found on a miserable 30% of the ground." Yes, some people say, "Now don't you worry, you can always find jobs in the white man's city, but don't stay too long and don't stay too deep, for you're bound to disturb the white man in his sleep." White men don't sleep long and don't sleep.
You know, so there was a time when this tune was banned in Jamaica. Can you believe that? This tune was banned in Jamaica. What a terrible thing. Maybe the band still depend it, you know. But I get all I refer me in trouble, you know. I fear the bad tune there.
Demanding his own piece of ground, his own piece of ground, his own piece of
Oh,
Listen to Brenda Fassie, the late, great Brenda Fassie. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Remember, we tell you we are go back to the archive. We are go back to the archive tonight. And for the whole of this month, we are going to the archive. Come draw out some tape where we did play a long time. Them little societies go kill off themselves, so me I tell you, man, a sweet artist, you know, South African artist, you know, she just go kill off herself with drugs. Brenda Fassie, one of the biggest female artists outsider, are coming out of Africa. And when we say Africa, we mean the whole continent. Yes, Brenda Fassie, man, me I tell you, we love her. So we play You Matikila a while ago. We're going to play next You Matikila, take some advertisement, and then come forward to this tape we are telling about. Money it name.
Always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Is an honorable word. There's nothing basically wrong with it. But because it presupposes that there is a legitimate white Africa. There is no legitimate white Africa. And so somebody says black Africa, ask them what other kind of Africa legitimately is there? You never say white Europe. And you never say wet rain. What other kind of rain is there other than wet rain?
That reason is the same reason like when people... You have African people who say them descended from Africans. And I ask, when them say them descended from Africans, are they Africans? Because I know descended from African. I am African. When I look on how the descendants come, I think on descendants of Africans as like Indian and Chinese and all them people there. I know see myself as a descendant of African. all other people descended from high. I know descended from African, high are to African. And so it go. This is the cutting edge on IRFM. We're there with you.
Yeah. This is not a you I say. Iowa FM is roots rock reggae. Hear this? And all them other liquid stations. What me say? A straight reggae. You hear that? Reggae.
Yeah, this is the cutting edge on IRFM. That's a serious thing, and I'm a virgin so long as so. Anyway, okay. Me compare this little thing and go and find the tape we are talking about. Yes, as we say, we want to play this out of the archives. The topic is money. Simple thing, money. So here goes.
Helping to drive down the price of oil from $20.50 a barrel in the OK days of 1990 to a mere $13.60 a barrel by summer.
We didn't come over on the Nita, the Pinta, and the whatchamacallit. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Landed right on top of us. Where's our pride? Why? You can get all the film and the footage of all the carnage in Los Angeles, but you can show me no footage of any damage in Iraq. And all you show me is some surgical. Now, 1 year later, it comes out that these so-called surgical sites were missing, and they were missing their pockets.
The root of all evil, some say. However, one thing is for sure. Money has a contaminating control over our lives. It is sought after, fought over, prayed over. Never has one word meant so much to so many people. Money reaches deep into our lives, and it stands as an inescapable reality of the modern Western civilized illusion. An illusion played out daily by billions of people. The illusion that a simple piece of paper has value. Money has sculptured our very lives and has been the instrument by which the greedy and ungodly have manipulated, controlled, and exploited.
You buy and sell money the same way as you buy and sell apples and oranges. We never see it, we never touch it. It's all numbers on the screen.
Around the clock, around the planet, money is on the move. Just a cyber-charged electronic pulse. Money throughout history has had no hard and fast definition. Rock, salt, gold, it is even edible. With the introduction of money, local transactions were opened up to a global audience. Since those early days, money has been the secret weapon that fueled revolutions, and it has shaped and molded the planet we live on. In its most basic form, money represents raw power. The Lydians of Greece were said to be the originators of gold and silver coins. Their invention of metallic coinage was a catalyst in the commercial revolution that transformed Greek civilization during the 7th century BC. It was from these metallic coins that maritime empires were built, and as the Greek cities grew in wealth and splendor, it was an accepted fact that money stood as a force to be reckoned with.
Here at the British Museum, we've got something like 750,000 coins in our collection. It's one of the most immediate sources of contact that we have with what went on in the ancient world. You put an ancient coin in your hand, you can imagine the biography of the coin, however many hundreds of people handle this coin, what they did with it, what the services, the functions that the coin performed.
The word money originates from the false goddess Juno Monitor. She was heralded by ancient Rome as a window on the future, offering consultation and warning. Rome had begun as a city of brick, but by the age of the emperors had become a city of marble. The Romans inherited the use of money from the Greeks, and they spread it all around Europe. Money was at the forefront of Roman conquest. Its standardization meant a common ground of comparison, a way to quantify a person's value or worth. Money defined societal hierarchy. It helped unify an empire that stretched from the northern Atlantic to Western Asia. When Caesar was brutally murdered on the 15th of March, 44 BC, an obituary coin forged with the faces of his slayers, Brutus and Cassius, was pressed. Rome was hungry for the spoils of war, and more it was becoming a society revolving around excess and wealth. The word crass, originating from Marcus Crassus, one of the richest and most unscrupulous Romans of his day. Rome, once a nation filled with enviable virtue and beautiful rhetoric, now had become indulgent and lazy. Wealth and the accumulation of it took precedence over everything.
In a sense, the Romans weren't meant to care about cash. They're meant, their morality says, what a man is worth is his virtue, what he can contribute to the state, and actually to be counting material goods is seen as sordid.
The fall of Pompeii would come to be seen as one of the ultimate results of excesses of money. They worshipped Mercury, the false god of trade. Pompeii had been destroyed by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which had buried the city under mounds of ash. Archaeological findings revealed numerous lava-covered corpses gripping, clutching, and rushing for their wealth, even in the final hour. Pre-industrial Rome had a booming population of 1 million, which by ancient standards is comparable to New York City today. A veritable melting pot of cultures, Rome assimilated technologies, peoples, and wealth through their relentless and ruthless conquests. The term citizen of Pax Romana was one of the noblest utterances of the day, a model copied by Pax Americana.
In ancient Rome, e pluribus unum meant exactly the same thing it means to us. They built a society where they took from many different races and creeds and nationalities, and everybody who came into their world, which was a pretty big world, became a Roman.
By the 4th century, Rome was a broken city, sacked and burnt by the Goths. The drive that had made them great had vanished. Europe had turned inward, but the money-making machine continued as the roads to riches turned eastward. Four centuries after the fall of Rome, a new power arose from the Arabian deserts. The soldiers of the seal of Prophet Muhammad came with the message of Islam. Islam, unlike any other religion, not only came embodied with the classical tenets associated with religion, but also had bound in the noble Quran the manner of economics and trade. A vast free trade zone spread from Spain to China. Ibn Battuta, one of the world's greatest explorers, would in one lifetime travel over 70,000 miles, 4 times further than his famous contemporary Marco Polo. Travel of this kind became more frequent in the Islamic Empire, fueled by the circulation of money, commerce, and trade. The new international currency of this splendid empire was the Islamic gold and silver dinar. The money that Ibn Battuta took with him from Spain was recognized in Africa, India, and far-reaching China. Today, a media and political veil has been drawn between Islam and the Western world, obscuring much of the beautiful and colourful history. The Middle Ages were witness to an Islamic renaissance. Kingdoms celebrated their cosmopolitan cities, palaces of outstanding grace and grandeur embellished with stunning decoration. Trade was dictated on religious grounds. Courts of business law were highly developed, derived from the noble Quran. And it is on these principles that fairness and clean trade were born. Greed and hoarding were globally despised, and a beautiful balance was established between financial and religious prosperity. Charity in the form of zakat, alms giving to the poor, allowed a nation to sustain everyone at a high standard of living. The gross class divisions between rich and poor were non-existent in this era.
Money became an important connection between the different parts of the Muslim world because Muslim money needed to be unified for tax purposes. In order to pay one's charity tax or zakat, or to pay for offenses and crimes, the value of the money had to be standardized. By doing so, these coins became accepted in all parts of the house of Islam.
The power of Islamic money was formidable, but only as strong as its source of gold. A new source would be found in Africa. By the time Ibn Battuta attempted the crossing, a gold route through the Sahara was well established. A trading post on the Trans-Sahara could expect a yearly turnover of 400,000 dinar, billions by today's standards. When enterprising Muslim mariners navigated the Indian monsoon waters around India, the merchants that followed found China in 1346. Ibn Battuta, on his travels to China, discovered the new and amazing practice of buying and selling by paper notes. Silk, spices, gunpowder, gold, paper and print now moved on a current of money, paper money.
You had coins worth virtually nothing, which were strung together in strings of 1,000 and traded that way. Somebody finally got the idea, why not just make a paper certificate and trade that?
It would be centuries before Europe would adopt the use of paper currency. Meanwhile, a revolution in mathematics was born from the Islamic universities in Cairo, Baghdad, and Fez. Islamic scientists had perfected algebra, geometry, and the concept of the zero. They had also introduced the numerical system still in use today. Throughout his travels, Ibn Battuta testified to the wonders of the Islamic Empire. Fez captured his heart, and he settled and made it his home. The mosque, worship and prayer are all elements of a past empire, which has been preserved. Fridays are known as Jummah, a day of communal prayer. For 1400 years, the Islamic community upheld the no-trade policy during this period. Upon completion of the communal prayers, or salat, trade is enthusiastically recommended. Throughout the Islamic Empire, a harmonious relationship between commerce and religion has existed. It is this relationship that has kept commerce pure. The charging of interest, dishonesty, and greed are known elements associated with money. However, the great Islamic empires stand as alternatives to this norm. An empire built on the economic principles of a religion kept an entire nation both prosperous and godly for centuries. Florence, the birthplace of the Renaissance, a whole new banking system was about to emerge. Banco is in effect an Italian word which means wooden table. And it was on these wooden tables that currency was exchanged for the illustrious golden florin, a golden coin of reputed quality. The florin merchants controlled the coin, and by the 13th century, the Islamic numerals had been adopted by Europe. Money changers became bankers, and merchants began experimenting in long-distance transactions and investments. The traveller's check first appeared in 14th century Florence. This valuable means of commerce provided a secure way of effecting international trade, as it allowed merchants to travel without carrying large quantities of gold, an obvious target for thieves and pirates.
Traveling across Western Europe at this time in the 13 and 1400s is dangerous. You have something which only you can cash. It's a piece of paper guaranteeing payment from one merchant or goldsmith to another. It's as good as gold, but nobody else can use it. It's very, very safe money.
The Medicis were a prominent and powerful banking family. Politics and money for the Medicis were inseparable. In 1433, control of the politicians fell into the hands of a rival family, which used the death of Giovanni Medici to seize political power. His eldest son, Cosmos Medici, was arrested and false accusations were made against him. His life was at risk. Through a series of bribes, he narrowly escaped death at the hands of his enemies. From this point on, he seized control of the Florentian political arena. It was said that he could rule the nation from his workshop. Though his fortune soared, Cosmo Medici always held a humble appearance, owning a mule instead of a horse. Because the Medicis were Catholic, the amassing of great wealth carried a stain in the Christian circles. Two roads to redemption lay at their feet: sponsoring great works of art and building magnificent churches. The financial favors that the Medici bestowed on presidents and popes had far-reaching consequences. Many great monuments still remain today, bearing testimony to the Medici name. For more than a century, the Italians were the power brokers in the West, whilst the Ottoman Turks guarded the trade routes to the East. However, the pursuit of gold for the Spanish would create empires almost overnight and take money to new frontiers. A merger of the old world with the new was about to take place in a marriage that would influence history forever.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
When Christopher Columbus set sail in the name of Christ, Spain, honor and greed, he stumbled on a magnificent and peaceful civilization of Amerindians, who had occupied this region for millions of years. His proud declaration of a new world came at a great price to the unfortunate Indians. To the people of this aptly named New World, gold had less of a financial value and more of a sacred religious one. Amerindian chiefs of the Andes in South America painted themselves with a sheen of gold as part of an elaborate religious ceremony. The chief would then dive into a lake to return the gold to the earth from which it had come. The Spanish, however, had a less symbolic depth to their gold cravens. In their campaign to conquer the region, the Spanish raped, pillaged and plundered in an insatiable and unrelenting pursuit of gold. Death followed the gold in predacious numbers. When a mountain was discovered in Porto Sea, South America spewed out masses of silver. The Spanish started to believe that they were chosen by God to inherit wealth and power. But with this wealth came a hidden curse. Back in Spain, prices increased by 400%, and numerous small wars broke out across Europe. With this new wealth in 1588, 150-ship armada was amassed and launched against England. The unfortunate fleet was torn in utter defeat and humiliation at the hands of a freak storm. Spanish royalty and nobility were oblivious to these events and continued to spend extravagant amounts of money on churches and art. Perhaps by investing money into churches was a way of justifying the horrific acts in which they had indulged in the pursuit of money. Within a century, the kingdom of Spain was fading. The power was slipping into the hands of a few skillful and manipulative individuals. Individuals who would almost single-handedly control the outcome of wars and revolutions. London, England consists in reality of two cities, the financial district and the rest of the capital, including Crown Land. For nearly 1,000 years, the city and the Crown have been as separate as church and country. The Queen must even request permission to enter the 1 square mile financial enclave that makes up the city. It even has its own unique police force. The roots of this arrangement are based upon money. In 1694, the Bank of England made an alteration that would change Britain and its money forever. The ensuing war against France was draining the crown of money, and a private fund was set up to assist the financially torn nation. The Bank of England was formed as a private venture funded by wealthy financiers, such as international banker William Paterson, who was noted for boastfully saying that the bank half benefits off interest on all money it creates from nothing. The liberation of business activity of royal prerogative allowed the British economy to surpass that of Europe's. Money now marched side by side with England's might. In 1814, money was needed in the war against Napoleon. The Bank of England, however, could not meet this request. Money was needed for the waging war, but this time the money came from the Jewish banking families who served from the shadows the needs of kings and countries. In Europe, the role of the money changer became a shadowy one, being the domain of the exiled. Because of the networking nature of Jewish families, they took control of this profession. 7 generations of the Rothschilds have been involved in the banking business. The Rothschilds distinguished themselves as the most famous of all European banking dynasties. For some 200 years, they exerted great influence on the economic and indirectly the political history of Europe. Lionel de Rothschild.
Remember that all the little principalities there had different currencies and coinage, and so someone with a good memory and a quick wit could learn to do coin exchange and currency exchange.
250 years ago, Major Rothschild grew up in the Jew Street in Frankfurt, a place of cramped and subhuman conditions referred to as the ghetto, from where the modern word ghetto was derived. Major Rothschild became one of Frankfurt's richest Jews. Despite this, he was confined to the impoverished Yangasso every night. During the American Revolution, Prince Willem made great profits by forcing the peasants into fighting the British wars against the American colonists. However, he was paid in English currency and had to turn to Major Rothschild to convert it to his local currency. When Napoleon had overrun Prussia, Prince Willem fled, leaving his fortune to be hid among the Rothschild investments. The Rothschilds' enterprise now spread across the cities of Europe, run by Major Rothschild's sons. Nathan Rothschild, one of the 5 sons, had inherited his father's gift. He was sent to England to tap its industrial might and supply Europe with goods. Napoleon's tight blockade proved, however, to be a major obstacle to him. The Rothschilds hence devised an ingenious courier system, which hid delicate financial papers and gold away from Napoleon's blockades. The contributions of the Rothschilds' money to the economy of Britain was impossible to ignore. And so, at Waterloo, it was a Rothschild-financed army that crushed Napoleon. The Rothschilds made an enormous fortune from the war, and more importantly, amassed great influence and power in the whole of Europe.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to now all our meds. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
Over $400 billion are in circulation. It remains the most popular currency in the world. On every American dollar is the signature of Mary Eileen Withrow, the Treasurer of the United States.
Credit of the United States government. We want people to believe in it. We want them to feel they can trust it. People will use what they can trust.
Benjamin Franklin is one of the most significant faces on the American $1 bill. Born in 1706 into a poor family of 10, at the age of 12 he was apprenticed to a printer. Unknown to many, Benjamin Franklin was the most powerful hand in the introduction of paper money in the US. The problem with America's economy was due to the tax, which had to be paid to the British masters in silver. This depletion created a severe shortage and a deflation of the currency. Benjamin Franklin saw an opportunity to profit from the economic play and made a proposition to the US government to introduce paper money on a full scale. The contract was issued, and Benjamin Franklin's power and influence grew, an influence with Masonic ends.
Success in the printing business is to get the contract for printing money. You don't even have to charge. Just take care of the scrap.
By 1760, the printing of paper money was banned, and England demanded their taxes in coins. Benjamin Franklin was a clear loser where England was concerned, and he used his power and position with the government to create one of America's greatest conspiracies, the War of American Independence. A war that freed America of British dominance. A war that introduced a new market for its founders, namely Benjamin Franklin. In 1776, paper money was started up once again, and it is this money that was used to finance the war against Britain. Richard Doty of the Smithsonian.
As long as the revolution appeared to be going well, continental currency or the continental dollar held up value fairly well against real coins. But when the war went on indefinitely, the value of it began to drop.
With overprinting and the soaring of counterfeiting, inflation took its toll. In fact, inflation became so high that even counterfeiting stopped as the money lost all value. 80 years passed until paper currency was tried again in America. Benjamin Franklin, however, left more than his face on the US currency. He left the symbol of Masonry, the all-seeing eye. An adequate supply of money is indispensable to the so-called civilized world. Without money, industry would grind to a halt. The entire economic web would freeze. The only survivors would be self-dependent tribes and families. Money is truly the blood of society. It is the means of all trade. It is a measure and the instrument by which commodities are exchanged.
We want them to feel they can trust it. People will use what they can.
Money circulation in a country is regulated by specialist bodies, usually government-based. If too much money is made, then money loses its value, causing what we know as inflation. Prices soar to compensate, interest rates soar even higher, and the country is left in financial chaos. On the other hand, shortage of money has effects that are equally devastating. Testimony to this is the Great American Depression of the 1930s. In the 1930s, America did not lack industrial capacity, fertile land, skilled workers, or entrepreneurial businessmen. It had an extensive and highly efficient transportation system in the form of railways, network roads, and inland and outland waterways. Communication between regions and localities were the best in the world, utilizing telephones, teletype, radio, and a well-organized government operating mailing system. No war had ravaged the cities or the countryside. No pestilence weakened the population, nor had famines stalked the land. The United States of America lacked only one thing: an adequate supply of money to carry on trade and commerce. In the early 1930s, bankers, the only source of new money, had refused loans to new industries, stores and farms. Payments on existing loans were required, and money rapidly declined from circulation. Goods lay in shop windows. Jobs were waiting to be done. The money drought brought an entire nation to a standstill. The greedy bankers had put America and Americans into depression. The bankers' plot had been successful. They were now the sole benefactors, accumulating thousands of homes, farms, and business properties. It was World War II that brought the Depression to a sudden end. The uncooperative bankers of peaceful times had suddenly become cooperative with billions to spare to the military. A nation that only 2 years ago could not produce food for sale now suddenly bombarded German and Japanese soil with expensive complementary missiles. the bankers' artificial creation of a money shortage had left a nation devastated. For America, it became evident that he who controlled the money controlled the nation. Money clouds judgment at a global level. Politicians financed by criminal bodies are reluctant to pass legislations affecting the hand that feeds them. However, John Fitzgerald Kennedy did just that. It was alleged that the JFK presidential campaign's success was due to considerable backing by the mob. The mob hoped that having a president in their pocket would secure their illegitimate enterprise. However, their plans backfired, and upon being elected President of the United States, Kennedy waged an all-out war on organized crime. A few years later, he lay dead. The events surrounding the assassination are ultimately deeply rooted in the money game. Fidel Castro in 1959 waged a bloody war against the Cuban dictator, General Batista. The mob saw the potential of an open market in Cuba, and with the help of the CIA, providing financial support via the mafia to ensure Fidel Castro's rise to power. In 1960, when Castro succeeded as dictator of Cuba, he ousted the mafia. U.S. businesses and agricultural estates were expropriated. Cuba then formed a trade alliance with the greatest enemy of the USA, Russia. And thus was sown the seed of a lifelong discord between Cuba and the US. Why does the US have an inherent hatred for Fidel Castro? Why does America fear this man's doctrines? Fidel Castro is one of the few men who has been wise to the propaganda and capitalist aims of the Western governments. He and his country endured in hostile climates, intact and unbroken, independent of capitalist control. When Fidel Castro turned to Russia, he became the first Western Atlantic country to become communist. This closed the door to the billions of enterprise that lay in Cuba for American investors. The mafia was looking for a country where they could operate above the law. Castro denied them this sordid privilege. The result for communist Cuba was years of sanctions and negative propaganda. Cuba was forced into a state of abject poverty. The silent war of attrition saw many presidents pass before Castro, with the intention to break him, and thus force open the doors to American enterprise and trade. A trade that, as in the case of Puerto Rico, sucks a country of its resources while filling the bellies of American capitalists on American soil. With war on the horizon, large contracts have to be issued. Someone needs to make the weapons of mass destruction, medicine, guns, and computers. In Britain and the US, gun companies and shipping yards have generated sources of wealth. In 1974, a Soviet diesel submarine with nuclear capability sunk to its death a few hundred miles off the coast of Hawaii. In one of the largest salvage covert operations of all time, the US government security contracted multi-billionaire Howard Hughes for a 2-year project worth millions. Howard Hughes was to use his industrial might and competence to design and build the mighty vessel to carry out the operation. One of the largest ships of the day was constructed to secretly hoist the wrecked submarine from its watery grave. The nature and details of this recon mission until this day are darkly kept secrets. But it is for sure that war and rumors of war have for a long time been a source of great financial gain.
Stepping Razor, Thursdays, 2 to 6 p.m. for IRFM. Coming through.
Nah, man, that no sound like Muta.
Oh, you mean, look, how we gonna deal with? Alright, sir. Watch out, twins. Two of you can't make one of me. Stepping Razor. This and every Thursday, 2 to 6 p.m. Yes, Rasta. The art of war.
Everything you always wanted to say but didn't. I'm free.
Forward.
Men over 50 are prime candidates for prostate problems. Frequent urination, burning sensation, and painful ejaculation are some of the symptoms. If these occur, see your doctor immediately. Remember, early detection is key.
The NHF helps you save money on your prescriptions. You can help yourself by checking on your prostate health regularly. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Interest is a system designed where money loaned generates money as a principle of service. The money loaned is lost by way of spending while the debt endures. The debate concerning interest on the social economic platform is not a new thing. The philosopher Plato regarded interest as a means where the rich could exploit the poor. Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, believed that money was to serve as an exchange and not as a means to profit by use of interest. In the religious text of the Torah, Deuteronomy 23, interest is prohibited. You are not to exact interest on a fellow man. Whether it be money or food or anything else, interest cannot be charged. This was conveniently interpreted, however, by some Jews to mean Jew to Jew, hence making it legal to charge interest to non-Jews. At the Council of Nicaea in Christian era 325 AD, Emperor Constantine forged the Trinity, despite the strong opposition from the Christians of the time. However, on the subject of interest, the emperor failed to sway the uncompromising Christians. The church's decision was to cause friction for centuries in Europe. European merchants, in an attempt to circumvent the church, deployed many legal tricks, including one where 3 parties were involved, contractus trinus. Eventually, interest came to be charged in Europe in abundance, and eventually the church gave in, neglecting the Bible in favor of democratic decree. In 1541, English law allowed the interest to be charged up to a fixed limit. Any excess of this was then considered unlawful. The church that had held out for centuries had finally given in completely. One Christian writer is noted as having stated that interest was necessary for salvation. Islam is the only religion on earth that incorporates in totality all aspects of a complete financial and government system. Islam thus combines the spiritual and the habitual. The issue of interest is made clear in the Holy Quran. O you who believe, fear God, and give up what remains of your claim of interest if you are truly believers. If you do not, then take notice of war from God and his apostles. In the history of Islam, there has never been any dispute by any person or persons, groups or individuals to this Quranic verse, and interest in Islam still remains forbidden. The interest-issuing groups, who make billions upon billions, have devised many ways to colour and cloak many interest-generating systems. From bank accounts which accumulate interest to credit card debts that are not settled before interest is applied, many people who are adverse to interest are caught up in its web in some way or another. Today, many bank accounts incur interest, and this is unfortunately seen as not a big issue. However, it is. Both the gaining and the issuing of interest is clearly prohibited by God's law. It is very easy for customers to write letters to their high street branches and request that no interest be added to accounts in credit. O you who believe, fear God, and give up what remains of your claim of interest if you are truly believers. If you do not, then take notice of war from God and his apostles. They who control the credit of a nation direct the policy of government and hold in the palm of their hands the destiny of the people. After billions upon billions have been made, money as powerful and lust after as it is, wears thin. There is little lifestyle difference between someone with 20 million and 200 million. Money can only go so far. Power becomes the new sport, and world politics is the height of that game. It is fair to say a conscious or unconscious global banking conspiracy is in existence in our midst today. Names such as Barings of England, Rothschild, J.P. Morgan, Warburg. International bankers such as the Rothschilds are not the same type of bankers seen on the public high street. They deal with industrial giants of the world's institutions and local and foreign governments. The international banker creates the illusion that the money is being controlled by the government, when all the while it is being controlled by them. Rockefeller owned the Chase Bank, and the Warburgs owned the Manhattan Bank. In a merger, the Chase Manhattan Bank was created. One of the most powerful conglomerates in existence, acting in consort with the Morgan banking dynasty. They spent millions of dollars to promote their campaign for legislation to gain a privatizing of U.S. money. They sold the idea to the public on the premise that current government legislation would work to propagate monopolies. Politicians all over the country cried for a new reform. To ensure a convincing case, the financial conglomerates publicly spoke out against these new policies, while secretly promoting it from the shadows. In December 1913, a short-staffed Congress voted in what was known as the Federal Reserve Act. The Federal Reserve is privately owned with stock held by 12 private banks, beyond and above the vote of the people. The President appoints 7 members to the Federal Reserve Board for a term of 14 years each. This serves to create the illusion that the government put into power by the voters ultimately control who governs this powerful body. However, no president in American history has appointed a member that is not congenial to the financial interest of the banking dynasties. The aim of the Federal Reserve Act, in essence, was propagated under the banner of removing money from politics. Many were, and are still even today, unaware that the Federal Reserve is a profit-making and private-owned corporation. Its aim, like most capitalist businesses, is first and foremost to profit. All other priorities are of a secondary nature. At the genesis of the Federal Reserve Act, the United States of America was divided into 12 federal districts, for which a board of directors was appointed. Trillions of dollars were made available to governments, businesses, and people. Monies lent with the pending plague of interest attached. The US government had spent more money than it had earned through taxation. The government then turned to the Federal Reserve to obtain money required to run the country. In this agreement, the government instructed the Treasury Department to print US interest-bearing bonds. From the bonds obtained from the US government, the Federal Reserve has created more and more credit, which it in turn loaned to businesses and individuals inclusive of pre-accumulated interest, establishing an ideal system whereby the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The Federal Reserve in the US serves as a line of credit when the government is in debt. The US debt currently stands at $400 billion, which incurs $20 billion in interest per annum. Interest generated from nothing. Such power, reserved for those who control the money systems, is riddled with conspiracy and greed. Money manipulation by this one body shows how the influence and control of a few can affect the majority. Company plans, political prospects, rise and fall of certain industry, boom and depression, all controlled by the few. All controlled by money. The first Federal Reserve Board members were handpicked by Colonel Edward Mandell House, who represented British and American banking interest. Edward House, in 1912, wrote a supposed fiction novel entitled Philip Drew, Administrator. The novel tells how a small group of insiders created a depression, then bring about the election of a hand-picked leader, who launches a program called New Era. The insiders weaken the country to the point of civil war, which provides the excuse for the implementation of dictatorship policies. People desperately looking for a way out accept with open arms their new oppressor. This story seems very likening to actual US historical events. Edward House selected Woodrow Wilson as a presidential candidate, and when Woodrow Wilson became nominated, he later became his financial advisor. Woodrow depended on him exclusively. He even admitted that House was his alter ego. The link between money and politics and ultimately the day-to-day lives of people is inseparable. In this complex chain, the simple conclusion is clear. He who controls the money controls the people. A global system influences the people who rise to power. Only those that support the ultimate interest of the big money dynasties will be selected. They in turn select judges, administrators, ambassadors in a complex web that ultimately serves one master. The popular saying, "two sides of the same coin," is just what summarizes this system. Political parties change, governments change, but this global system remains intact. And it begs the question, what group then sits at the head of this international table? In 1870, John Ruskin, an Oxford lecturer, taught to a group of his students that the state must take control of a country's production headed by one man, a man who was superior to all others. And amongst his students was none other than Cecil Rhodes, the ruthless racist dictator, who imposed his surname on what is now Zimbabwe. Cecil Rhodes, through his international banking contacts, amassed riches from creating a diamond and gold monopoly in Africa. In 1891, Cecil Rhodes established a secret society to promote the darker side of John Ruskin's dreams. Dr. Quidley explains.
In this secret society, Rhodes was to be leader. Stead, Brett, Lord Esher, and Milner were to form an executive committee. Arthur Lord Balfour, Sir Harry Johnston, Lord Rothschild, Albert Lord Grey, and others were listed as potential members of a circle of initiates, while there was to be an outer circle known as the Association of Helpers, later organized by Milner as the Round Table Organization.
After the death of Cecil Rhodes, the leadership of this inner circle fell into the hands of Lord Alfred Milner, High Commissioner of South Africa. As director of numerous public banks and corporate precursor of England's Midland Bank, he became one of the greatest financial and political powers in the world. He recruited many Oxford graduates into his inner circle. Dr. Quidley explains.
Through his influence, these men were able to win influential posts in government and international finance, and became the dominant influence in British imperial and foreign affairs up to 1939. Under Milner in South Africa, they were known as Milner's Kindergarten until 1910. In 1909 to 1913, they organized semi-secret groups known as Round Table groups in the chief British dependencies and in the United States.
The Round Table preempted a secondary group in the United States called the CFR, the Council for Foreign Relations. It is through such organizations, universities and tax-exempt groups that the global capitalist conspiracy has dominated and kept a grip on the world for over 50 years. The CFR was a front for financial giants such as J.P. Morgan, who ran it with a small but elusive American Round Table group. The CFR has an elite membership of 1,400. They're sworn to secrecy, and the organization as a whole keeps a very low profile. One of the members, Joseph Kraft, in an article, Schools for Statesmen, published in Harper's Magazine 1958, stated one of the chief architects was Colonel Mandell House. He also stated that members of the CFR included the chairman of Atomic Industry, head of the CIA, members of the largest Wall Street giants, university lecturers, journalists from CBS, NBC, Newsweek, Times Magazine, Washington Post, directors from the Ford Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Carnegie Endowment Fund, Presidents Hoover, Johnson, and Nixon. From media to presidents, the CFR has a very intimidating membership of some of the world's most powerful individuals for an organization the public knows next to nothing about. The question, so often asked, must once be asked again. What is the CFR? You can change the name, but the reality remains the same. Lodge, secret society, international bankers, Illuminati, it all equals one thing: control of public opinion and the elimination of religion. As intelligent as a person is, everything that is known is from the world around. By controlling the source of knowledge, i.e. universities, magazines, television, radio, music, etc., it is possible to fashion an organic robot which bows to the commands of its master. Some people believe that conspiracy is non-existent, and others believe everything is a conspiracy. Sometimes, the conspirators strangely encourage conspiracy. Through propaganda wars, the media conglomerates create enemies. Once it was Russia and communism which dominated the post-World War II era, but now with the fall of communism, the new enemy is the so-called Muslim fanatic. Propaganda paints a conspiracy against religious bodies, causing the masses to react adversely to religion at the mere whisper of the word. The aim is to distance creation from the Creator and adopt God's role. The target of the negative propaganda has changed throughout the years, but the method of injecting this poison into the masses has not changed one bit. The creation of an enemy, real or illusionary, has been supported by the people who seem to have the most to lose, as mentioned before. The British banker that financed Trotsky, the communist revolution in Russia, was Lord Alfred Milner. The CFR has funded many left-wing idealists. Why? Lord House's fictional work, depicting how by creating an illusionary enemy can bring about the control of a people by only offering solutions, which result in the desired outcome of the conspirators. The people see the proposed solution as a reasonable price to pay for the restoration of tranquility. Fear can create many things, and it is in this fear that some people make billions. It must be stated that a one-world government or a one-world economy is not flawed in its puritanical realm. It becomes tainted when the question of who runs it and why is asked. A world government based on the laws of God would be a perfect world to live in. What could be better? A system where morality and fairness remain unaltered by time. However, the pursuers of the global currency and global government are not the God-fearing kind, and it is this one factor that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference. They incited fear into the nations of the world. Fear created from an illusionary villain, intimidation. A common enemy needs a common reason for unification. They want no resistance to absolute control and economic growth and political steering of member states. Yes, America can give the world peace, but it is a piece of the expansion of the invisible American dictatorship. America has expanded its control beyond its borders. Anyone who opposes is propagated as an enemy of peace and equality. It has been a tool for the assimilation and manipulation of the resources of the world. America has no enemy. They have set up a climate favoring the World Bank and its policies and puppet governments. In 1944, at the international conference held in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, the IMF was born. Conceived from the ruins of a post-war Europe, the World Bank has created a vast web of exploitation and intrigue. Its victims, none other than potentially its greatest rivals, the so-called Third World countries. 800 delegates attended the Bretton Woods Conference at the invitation of the then President of the United States, F.D. Roosevelt. And it was at this conference, to a delegation still riddled by the ensuing wars, that America made its intentions clear. Free trade with no discrimination against U.S. goods. A favorable climate for American investment in foreign economies. And unimpeded access to raw materials. F.D. Roosevelt sold his policy on the back of the chimera that only free trade could guarantee post-war peace. Free trade equals equality. Equality equals peace. He argued that the 1930s Great Depression had allowed fascism to reign and that the currency disorders had destroyed the basis for international trade and investment. Bewilderment and bitterness had become the breeders of fascism, and fascism had led to a war America had to end. In 1960, the International Development Association, the IDA, was established. Its aim was to provide interest-free loans to the world's poorest countries, unable to afford the IBRD's terms of agreement. These loans gave an impression of being lenient. They are not. It is these loans from the IDA which are responsible for the present debt burden of today's poorest countries. Mexico, India, Brazil, Indonesia, Turkey, China, Philippines, Argentina, Korea, Colombia, Morocco and Nigeria all still struggle under their financial burden that repayment of the IDA loans have created on their economies. Their peoples live lives of misery and squalor, and yet no one stands accountable. Hiding behind the mask of national reconstruction, it is the World Bank's intention to force third world countries into submission.
Yes, may I tell you, the man have a right cross the board when him talk about money. Serious thing.
R.E.F.M. Thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
And render them financially handicapped and politically weakened. And it is to Robert Strange McNamara, President of the World Bank, from April the 1st, 1968 to June the 30th, 1981, that credit is given. He masterminded the plot, which was to make the World Bank the most powerful establishment in the world. His previous role as United States Defense Secretary gave him first-hand knowledge of world systems and how they might be manipulated and controlled. It was he who introduced the concept of the World Bank's moral obligation to relieve world poverty. McNamara's motives were undoubtedly political. Behind the zealous, crusading front, McNamara was calculating and scheming. He wore the hat of political activist as a means to an end. And it was in this crusading disguise that the World Bank began its strategic domination of the poorer nations of the world. Third world countries were recklessly bombarded with IDA loans. The borrowing governments rarely refused a loan or worried about their position to repay it. To the investors, World Bank involvement signaled to the rest of the world that they had nothing to fear. It had become a necessary seal of approval. McNamara's final legacy had far more sinister consequences. His parting gift was the era of structural adjustment, known as policy-based lending. These loans came with inescapable conditions, insensitive to the individual and cultural needs of the countries involved. Conditions which possess the ambition of transforming entire societies, setting a new set of westernized social goals. Programs that have since devastated the lives of millions of people, whilst making the World Bank very rich indeed. McNamara's prime concern was in fact to obtain a state of general stability for himself and his country. His solution to the dreaded communist threat was not to eradicate poverty, as he pretended, but to bring poorer nations under his control. It was not his intention to create conditions for economic and social progress in the lesser developed areas of the world, but in fact to create a system so entangled and indebted to America as to remove any threat of political rebellion. By fueling the irrationality and self-destructiveness of unbridled emotion, greed, aggressiveness, hatred, ignorance, and inertia, the World Bank has brought many, if not all, third world countries to submission. Order, stability, and security for the North has been obtained through elimination of any political, financial, or social opposition. Although McNamara left the bank more than a decade ago, his policies hauntingly remain. In 1979, the World Bank launched its carefully devised lending systems in the form of structural adjustment loans and pectoral adjustment loans. These loans tap into the very core of a country's political and financial infrastructure and spread like a disease to its peoples. The main incentive of the bank's loans is to liberalize the rules and regulations of a country in a direction favorable to America and Americans. With 4 types of loans and the capacity to coordinate them strategically, the World Bank controls many aspects of investments, institutional development, and public policy in nearly 150 nations. High African officials say TINA, short for there is no other alternative. A vicious web of catch-22s from which there is no return. The World Bank has to be held accountable. And yet the bank continues unopposed, preaching market theology and avoiding the consequences of those misreadings. The bank wins, whatever the final outcome. The quest for money has led to an insatiable greed on the part of many large industries and businesses. Millions are spent on learning behavioral patterns of people to predict spending patterns and trends. Psychologists, economists, and marketing specialists are constantly employed by major corporations to typecast and analyze to the point where people are just numbers and points on a graph in obscure computer programs. The data is crunched in complex algorithms and program queries with one intention: predicting and controlling others. This information allows analysts to market products with such precision as to be able to predict consumers' response with almost assured success. This technique has been so refined that sales predictions are almost 100% accurate. Loyalty cards are an effective tool used to monitor general consumer habits. "Do you have a loyalty card?" is often the first utterance to greet customers at checkout points. Loyalty cards often bear the name of the store. Sainsbury's card and Shell card are but 2 of thousands in the UK alone. They all work on a similar basis. The more money you spend, the more points you accumulate. At specific point levels, you are entitled to gifts or cashback. On the surface, the name loyalty card guarantees just that: customer loyalty. It is in the consumer's interest to stay with one store or chain and accumulate points, as cards are not transferable. There is nothing wrong with that except the agenda goes deeper. When you are given a loyalty card, you fill in all your details and the card is processed and activated in a computer database. Every purchase you make from this point on can now be monitored. How much money was spent? On what was it spent? When was it spent? How frequent? A marketing manager's dream. In addition, your every movement is monitored by security cameras within the store. This highlights which aisles attract the most people. Do you buy bread first, followed by butter? Which products are not of interest to you? How did you respond to new marketing gimmicks in the store? Your general buying decisions. All of this information is at their disposal to be analyzed and deciphered until you become as predictable as a mathematical equation. Information can then be banded together into groups of single men, women, couples, families, etc. This information can then be sold to third parties for exorbitant amounts. McDonald's, one of the world's largest fast food giants, takes marketing research to another level. It hires low Earth orbit satellite time to conduct population development surveys. This information is used in the geo-positioning of future stores. From the Islamic Holy Land to the poorest country in Africa, McDonald's has found itself a home within almost every potential money market, tapping into the resources of young and fragile economies, piping illusionary concepts of an American dream full of excess, waste, and greed. Concepts and ideas, the very nature of which ultimately destroy any country not operating at the Western economic level. To these major chains, money is their prime concern. All other issues, including the welfare of a people, are superseded. What can and what cannot make money is a very interesting subject. These days, it seems that there are very little niche ventures that are not profit-making. Even selling obscure plots of land on Mars has been done. In light of the new Martian mission, Search for Life, some real estate agents have been selling plots of Martian land. Strangely, in the US, this practice is finding clientele, and it is not even illegal. Fear and all its components is another good sales tactic. Either create a fear of someone losing something, or create a fear of an event coming. The best example of this is the mysterious Millennium Bug, which failed to show up for the Millennium celebrations. Nonetheless, books were written about it, computer programmers were in demand, software came with the Y2K seal of approval. Computer consultants were running amok, and for what? For money. It is hard to estimate how much money was earned by the service cure end of the industry. Possibly billions. All on one word. Fear.
You know, say before we go on to the other part, there's two things you mentioned a while ago, McDonald's and Mars. Well, I want to tell you, say, at least 70,000 people book them flight to go Mars already. And you must know that the man who old Virgin, Branson, him, as a matter of fact, he did a test flight something the other day and it never worked out, but him have a plan for send families to the moon. I think at $250,000 for a flight to the moon. And we hear that Lady Gaga is supposed to perform in space next year. I would love to go to that performance. Believe you me, but as the man talk about how they must sell everything. Imagine Monday or some Mars over there, some man actually buy out Mars already. And him don't know who they pan it. It's so same way them come and buy out certain place, not even buy it out. Capture it and kill off the people them. Before you say buy, you know, it means say there's somebody on Earth who do have nothing to do with Mars, who decides say he must sell some part of Mars. And the next thing is about McDonald's. Did you know that McDonald's main interest is not burgers, it's real estate? Yes, it's real estate them into, not burgers. Them use the burger thing, but check it. Them all over the world. Real estate them into. This money thing is a serious thing. This is the cutting edge on RFM.
If ever man created anything from nothing, it is money. Economists use the term created because the modern concept of money is a non-existent artificial term. A woodsman makes a house, but the wood is from the trees. Automobiles are made by man, but all the materials involved are created by God. Man has merely reinterpreted the raw materials to suit a specific purpose. Money, once a bit of paper, is today a mere electronic cyber pulse. The value of this paper or electronic pulse is negligible. Yet it can be used to build a house, buy a car, a boat, or even a cup of coffee, all acquirable through the same note or electronic pulse. And so it is to nothing a value is assigned, a value whose worth we must all collectively believe in. Without this belief, money would have no value. America has grown into the wealthiest nation on earth, a society built on capitalist principles and consumerism. The whole first world bows to the calling of money. Donald Trump.
Money for me is that it really is just a scorecard. It tells you if you've done well or if you've done badly. It really is just a scorecard.
Those who own it are revered, and those that don't are scoffed. Money seems to buy respect in the capitalist jungles of the world today. Extravagant Hollywood stars display this excess beyond practical purposes to a dazzled public. while the majority of the human race suffers a sub-animal existence.
I think the show of wealth in my case really is the great buildings that I built. Trump International Hotel and Tower, Trump Tower. I own the Empire State Building. I own 40 Wall Street, which is one of the great buildings in the world. I love great buildings, and in a way that's a show of wealth, but at the same time it's something that just has made me a lot of money.
Money is worshipped as a religion in the West. The pursuit of it is an addictive one. Supply never satisfies demand. Husbands are constantly working overtime to get that extra dollar. Wives work long hours to supplement their husband's income. Children seek jobs to supplement their spending money, as they too at a very early age join the consumer assemblage. Money is that fleeting illusion, that carrot on the stick, forever pursued, yet never attained. The word money dominates Western conversation and is the silent underlying evil that gnaws away at its foundation. The world has been intentionally kept in ignorance. Ignorant people are easily controlled, easily convinced, and easily predicted. Education and knowledge make people interact with wise eyes, aware of the reality of a system intent on governing their destinies. A system that favors the robot to the enlightened. A system that detracts from the pursuit of knowledge of self, the world, and God. Money, though essential for survival, needs, like every other aspect of our lives, to be balanced. If its pursuit deadens the soul, then what we are as a people dies. Money, they say, cannot buy the things that really matter. Love, happiness, friendship, a beautiful place in the hereafter. Money is of this world, and like everything of this world, it will perish.
Open your mind. Halaka Media, the signature of quality and expression. Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Lady Grace Jones, Corporate Cannibals. Corporate cannibals, digital criminals. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. Yes, Cutting Edge, you know, say, the Virgin there a while ago was very thorough in his money reasoning from the historical perspective up to the point of the International Monetary Fund. But you know something? I love y'all, Peter Phillips, this to listen to, you know. Because Peter Phillips, the same exact word where the brother say, them put we in our bind till we say there was no other alternative. Peter Phillips echoed that same thing there, you know, there's no other alternative to the IMF, but to go to the IMF. And that is exactly the bind them put we now. I don't think him feel say him get caught, but really and truly him get caught. Yes, because the same word, there's no other way, there's no other alternative. And I remember a sister tell me, a filmmaker tell me, say, she asked him about it in terms of him radicalism and him liberal reasoning from them time there. And him tell her echo the same word. There was no other way. There was no other way. That is really where them put we in continuously. So, a brethren talk to me and I say, Muta, remember long time ago you play one thing about paycheck. You bring more than just a paycheck. And I said to myself, say, if I forget everything else, I'm not going to forget this, because sometimes you play some music and you say some things and through you inside us by yourself and just talk to the mic, you feel say, I wonder if anybody hear what you say, really. But when I hear the brethren come to me with I don't know, it look like it affect him profoundly to the point where he could really remember. Because sometimes a man asks, remember certain things, but him not remember it specific. But this brethren was so specific that I say, if I don't remember anything else, I'm going to have to remember to play this thing for the brethren. So for the brethren who ask me, if we play this thing, I'm going to play it. More than a paycheck.
We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and families. We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and families. We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and families. More than a paycheck to our loved ones and families. We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and families. We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and families.
I wanted more today, but what I've got here today is more than I bargained for. When I walk through that door, I bring home asbestosis and silicosis, prolonged black lung disease, and radiation hits the children before they've really been conceived. We bring more than a
a paycheck to our loved ones and family. More than a paycheck to our loved ones and family.
I wanted more than a pay, but what I've got here today is more than I bargained for. When I walk through that door, I bring home asbestosis and silicosis for round, long, black, long disease. And the radiation hits the children before they've really been conceived. We bring more than just a little paycheck. You're bringing more than a paycheck. I'm bringing more than just a little. Well, now workers lend an ear, cause it's important that you know that with every job there is the fear that disease will take its toll. If not disease, then injury, my Lord, maybe for your lot. And if not injury, then stress is going to tie you up in knots. So we take home more than a paycheck to our loved ones and family. More than a paycheck to our loved ones and family. We bring more than a paycheck to our loved ones and family. More than a paycheck to our loved ones and family. We bring asbestosis and silicosis around long, black, long disease. And the
yeah, we bring more than a paycheck. We carry home more than a paycheck away yard. Carry home whole heap of disease, stress, pain, injury. Can you believe that? More than a paycheck.
But I don't want no more. Don't accept no more.
Yeah, don't accept no more. Yes, this is the continent. Yes, El.
Democratic greetings, Congo.
Blessed man.
You know, we're listening, we are here, people talk about the dollar die. Money is chief god in Babylon, you know. Chief god. Of all the gods in Babylon, money is chief god.
Yeah, man. A Jesus, that man.
It's a serious thing. Good over evil, you know. Give thanks to them continental youngs. They start out the program with, you know.
Yeah, it's South African vibes, yeah, man.
Yeah, we love. You know, at one time, we almost asked the because once ago they used to play them more, you know, and one time we almost asked what happened to the continent?
No, we don't forget them, man. We don't forget them at all. We can't forget that, man. African music straight up.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
talking about continental young, it was good to be amidst emperors and emperors, you know, gathering, chanting Ayabingi for the 84th anniversary of his him and her.
Yes, Majesty.
You know, yes, coronation.
It was wonderful.
Yes, very good to be there.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man.
Give thanks for everything, you know, and you know, His Majesty is pleased, you know.
Yes.
And I just say it have to go. You know, because I know say it's just about black liberty. As I always say, you know, the highest form of black consciousness is Rastafari.
Yes.
You know, without any apology, you know, it cannot be disputed, you know.
Yeah.
And I live black, you know.
Yeah,
and you know, the house is a house where, you know, purchase that, you know, in the highest formation, and we give thanks to be part of that house.
Yeah, man, give thanks, brethren.
Yes, I Congo, Rastafari.
It is. Yeah, man, and as the brethren talk about it, we deliver it. much better. Serious thing, Peter. Serious thing. Yes. Cutting edge. Yeah.
Yes, Muta.
Yeah, bless you.
Yeah, Muta.
Yeah, man.
Hey. About one, as me say, I want to play back some of the tape them where they play already.
Yeah, so one of them that we just play.
Yeah, about 96. One that me that play a tape. And some, I think a tape concerning about Mary.
Mary?
You see that night there? You know, exactly, because you hear what that going on. Come like them in that tamper with the frequency. You couldn't hear it come across clearly at all. I mean, say, come like them don't want the people them hear that tape there.
Why them don't want? Some of them play all over and over. I don't know which one you play, but most of them tape here, not only one time I play them, you know.
Me never hear you play one day again.
Oh, Mary?
Never really miss, yeah man, something. But me, as me say...
Only that you remember, Mary?
Something to watch she did in there. Because when I hear the tape come on, it's like... I couldn't hear nothing. It's like something that, you know...
Yeah, not properly. Yeah.
It's just like how I could have said, well, then you play... The rival of Jesus. I think
the rival. You know, some plan to play about.
Yeah,
we plan to play about that one day. I don't want to.
People.
Oh, you mean, man? Then that's why we keep. Hey, watch out! You can't play too much time, you know.
No,
people who think they hear it one time, never hear it, and people who want it.
You know what say?
Yeah.
You know what say? Since you start come on with the step in the razor, more younger people tune in
to this program, you know. Yeah, of course, we know that.
So
man.
you see now when you play them tape and no one say, but anyway, because me I follow you from them time.
Well, if you talk about 96 to the long time, you did upon it, man.
Yeah, man, every cut, me I remember you play one interview one pastor man from South Africa.
Yeah.
And I said to him, say, you play all them, this, you tell the church people all them things there.
Yeah, but you know, one thing, could I remember what sound like what you talk about is Sister Charlotte tape, but I know that you talk about.
It wasn't Sister Charlotte tape.
Oh, you don't remember that?
Time,
but I'm Mary you talk about. I remember this one.
It's a way back tape.
Yeah, but you have to go give me more information, man. You have to give me more information.
But anyway, pertaining to, I'm not say too long, pertaining to the money thing now.
Yes.
When you listen to that, you know, me always tell certain people, say, look here, it's not about, say, well, socialism and capitalism. When you come to capitalism, if you're sensible, you can manipulate it still, you know, but here you do it now. You say Marcus Garvey was the only economic philosopher we did ever have still, you know. Since him, we don't have no more. And the people, them don't really listen to what him say and follow what him teaching.
Yeah.
But if come here and say, look here, if people that form organization, you know, and organize themselves around the system, you know, you wouldn't have so much poverty still, you know, because we have take back some of them money where them are store up. Because look here now, when you buy your shoes, what you only benefit you get out of the shoes is when you wear it, you know. And then the money gone. But suppose you have an organization will provide these commodities. And when you buy it, it could have gone and set up all credit union and you get the money if you borrow without your interest or low interest rate like how the Jew them do. Or how you hear them say, boy.
No, the Muslim them not charge interest rate, yeah.
The Jew them not do it too.
Okay,
them not do it too.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, here, this man already won the same basketball team where them take away from her there. John and Sterling. Him say, them help them one another, and if them lend them one another money, them not collect it back till you really stand up on your foot firm enough when you achieve certain things. So them help them one another. But we don't have nothing set up with help one another. Right now, where you see now, and you talk about oppressor, but nobody right now oppress them one another like poor people. Them oppress them one another.
The oppressed become the oppressor.
Yeah, them oppressing because you are trying to do a little thing of the same poor man want here.
Right, and a matter of fact, him not support you neither.
Right, you know that?
Him see your shop, you saw the Chinaman shop, you saw him got the Chinaman shop because the Chinaman can buy in a bulk and sell cheap and you can't.
And sometimes the China them network too. Because they will come together and buy a more trailer and container load of it.
The only set of people means to do that are the people them in the arcade, you know. Them black woman, they know about business, you know.
Yeah, them do.
Them put together and go foreign, one of them go buy things and come back.
Yeah, but them carry down the one another to me, I tell you.
No, wait, the Chinese no carry down one another to one?
Yeah, it happened to you, know.
Yeah, so everybody carry down one another, but we just say the concept of bulk. The concept of bulk is also practiced by a whole lot of people in the arcade.
Yeah, them do it, but one or two I like what them do. You see if that one I got new in the business and say, alright, buy something for me at China. Him say, I XYZ feet, give me 2,000 US. And when him come down, him say, boy, I know, sir, this me could I get feet, because I'm a bit share
profit, yeah, him have to share a piece, yeah, him have to share a piece himself, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
Him not charge you, but him charge you.
Him charge you more than if him did charge you. That's right. So, that's me not like. Kind of really something me hear about, you know, something me know, because me a relative in it, you know.
No, when me know about it, go into all of them bulk up and send one go buy thing.
Yeah, but them carry down them one another. I tell you. But it doesn't mean, let me tell you something. Most of the things that happen with we as black people with one another, you know, me say not me not a race, you know.
Yeah.
Because me that say.
Well, that's how I mention it too. That's how I mention it is the China people carry down China people said we.
Right, because I would say every race of people equal. Once every man may not have the same level of intelligence. But that doesn't mean to say every race of people not equal. In every race you can find whether a great baller, a great singer, a great engineer, a great lawyer. It just come down in all the races. So I don't really mean to say that race is better than that race. Just because the white people know, because you don't frame history. Because sometimes I say, you don't need to study the history and hear what happened in Europe. So I realize that them people don't really have a better time than we. I just sue them the far ahead of we.
Yeah, but them people that come enslave other people still, and the other people never enslave
after them go through for them great struggle.
No, it no matter where them go through. I said them, you after the plague, when them never rise up on certain level and them start to put themselves together. At that time, them start to invade other country and take out people and
you look at the plague happening in the 30s.
Yeah, so.
But looking at that time, they know. It's better to call them really loose and never put them. Because they Jew them. You have one era in Germany where Jew live. Yeah. And them use the law and keep for them era clean. And them I say, boy, them send the plague upon them.
Yeah, them kill the Jew them go kill the Jew them.
Just because of the way up for them system work and them by law.
That will happen in Jamaica too, you know. If a bowler reach that same thing will happen.
Yeah, because you see, Allah is supposed to run a country still, you know. Yeah. And you can apply certain discipline to your life. Because even when you see them that talk about, you look at him and say, when we talk about no one, that's the last thing I talk about. When you talk about the people who surround Jesus and anything about the Gnostic gospel, them not give you the gospel. And they say Thomas are the doubtful one. You know, so when them say when they read Thomas' book, you know, I think that you read night to apply it to your life to make your life better.
So you never read Thomas, you never read the St. Thomas book yet? Get it and read it, man. Trust me, get it and read it, man. A total different thing. The same Thomas to them said doubt. I need that, man. I need that.
I never read it, but I'll try and get it.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, brethren.
Anyway, yeah, man. Respect.
Yeah, the brethren has doing thing and same piece. This is our next. Well, the first one, the dollar die was Peter Tosh himself, but this is the Whalers. This is a big tune from them time there, you know. Listen, big tune. I only pound don't know nothing about pound and shilling and pence. Well, pound and shilling and pence we were using at the colonial times. Brian, you know about pound, shilling and pence? You know about pound, shilling and pence, alright? How much shilling make a pound? A wise answer that, believe you me, is a wise answer. Wally. Anyway, this is the pound get a blow.
Oh, what a destruction.
did, and we still seeing the weeping and wailing. May I tell you? Yes, blessed.
King Muta.
As is.
Muta.
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
Yeah, I want you to play the tribute that we make to Lucky Dube.
Oh, you mean my poem?
Yeah. Okay. And we want to know where we can get the album.
The album? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if I tell you now about the album then. South Africa it released, you know. Maybe you can go online and get it, you know, iTunes.
Oh, online?
Yeah. You know, so I have some of them myself, but me know they need it now.
Alright. I'll go online.
Yeah. Alright, if you see me one of them cultural activities there, maybe I may have some for myself too. Can we just get some?
Oh.
Alright.
And tomorrow I want to play one song where I play long time.
Which one?
About one man talk about the pastor and some pastor where him say, I have a dream.
Oh, that's a Maccabee. Maccabee sing it, yes. You know, I'm play it now. Me can't play it now, you know.
Alright, man.
But me play the lucky one first, though. Me play the lucky one first. Alright? Alright, blessed.
Yeah, Muta, real thing that was talk. Enough youth that start listening to this program.
Yeah, alright, sir.
Prisoner of slave. Nobody can stop reggae. Reggae is strong. Spirit of hope, cast in greed and hate. Fate alone can decide who shall live or who will die. Caught in tides of hate, singing songs of joy, reggae songs of resistance. Am I a slave, prisoner or slave? The world here, the cry is heard from Jamaica to Johannesburg. I remember, I'm a prisoner. We are all prisoners of the system, of politicians and preachers, of little boys in the streets with guns. So who can say they're lucky to go beyond what is their fate? Who can go beyond and sing, shout aloud in songs and poems about freedom of a people, wanting, hoping to be free? Lucky are we to have had lucky. The bullets echo, but the ballads echo more, reaching further than any bullet can, piercing the heart of many who seek freedom. We are lucky. Nobody can stop reggae. Reggae is strong. Spirit of hope. So we are lucky. Bullets will not stop reggae. Lucky are we, fall and rise. Lifting up the world, shouting, chanting, singing songs of freedom for those yet to be born. In this world of bullets and little boys and streets filled with hate and greed. Streets of gold and lead, blood red, thick blood, like morning mist. It stops us from seeing what lies ahead. But this music, this reggae music, brings a wind that blows away this misty morning, moving the shackles from these prisoners, these slaves, waiting on the right time. When these little boys with bullets of hate will listen to the become lucky. And no more will they be prisoners or slaves. So the chant is out. Lucky are we. Nobody can stop reggae. Reggae is strong. Yeah, so the sample we choose is Lucky say, we're all slaves until Africans are free. Yes, tribute to Lucky Dube. Yes, Brett said, give thanks. El.
Greetings again, I Congo.
Ah, blessed man.
Fitting tribute.
Yeah, man.
You know, within the scheme of this money system, you know, the most wickedest thing they set up on we, you know, especially we as continental people out here, so, in these Western places, it's class system, you know.
Yeah.
And money dictate the class system there, you know.
Of course. It divide up.
Wicked system, man. I got comment on it one time, but say, how can they divide the people? But they are terrible system.
Of course. It divide up.
Wicked system, man. I got comment on it one time, but say, how can they divide the people? But they are terrible system.
But you know, say, in a place where pure black people there, them use the money class system to divide up the same black people there.
The same people who come on the same shape.
Yeah.
That's how dangerous the system is, you know.
Yeah, man. Money, man. Money them use and divide it up, man.
Yes, I.
And now, even though when you hear the Peter Phillips that said there was no other way but the IMF, that is how them set it. That you don't see no other way out.
You see those people who enter into the Westminster style politics, that is the power wave.
Yes. enemy to the people, them. Enemy. Yes.
You can count on your finger.
Yes.
If you can count at all, who enter into that wobbling politics and do not be a politician.
You know, your man mentioned Castro, you know the thing.
Oh, of course.
All right. When me I grew up, you know, me hear say Castro devil, you know, and evil.
Yes.
And now we see this country, who they near to America, so near to America. Yes. The Minister of Health have to go to Cuba to get some assistance and some reasoning towards how they would have really deal with the Ebola. Because a little country like Cuba send a portion of Dr. Ghana, Liberia, go deal with Ebola.
Yeah, man. They remain untainted, you know.
If this country is so terrible, how is it that there's no illiteracy in Cuba? Them have a better health service than America. America sanctioned and embargo them for almost 50 years now. And in that 50 years, them could have developed a health system, a literacy program. Them could have an army. Could have sent Angola and all them places to go fight.
Yeah, man.
How is it that this country is so evil?
The white supremacy system.
Yeah, all them so evil and them now. Yeah. With imagine, you know, the big bad America, you know. Big bad America have an embargo upon them for nearly 50 years. And them could have helped them citizens by making no illiteracy there. No illiteracy there. Everybody can read. You see how terrible that is?
Yeah, man, that is the transformation that is needed.
So and when the man tell about capitalism, you know, gone mad. I should have played that one.
May I tell you?
All right, brethren, give thanks.
Terrible. Yes. I have been guy.
Yes, so the brethren, the youth.
I had a dream. My children, welcome to my congregation. My name is Theodore Love Money, and I am your parson. I had a dream. I dreamt that the Lord came into our church, and he looked up at the roof of our church, and there were holes. And the Lord said to the congregation, you waste your money on material things. You should give more money to the parson so he can fix up the roof of our church. That's what the Lord said. And the Lord said, your pastor should not drive any old car. You should have a brand new BMW to drive. So when he comes to church, he can come to church on time. That's what the Lord said. said, your parson's refrigerator should always be full. So when he comes and preaches at church, he does not collapse from starvation and hunger. That's what the Lord said. And the Lord said, your parson should have a brand new stereo unit so he can listen to more gospel music. And a brand new video so he can watch more gospel shows. That's what the Lord said. That's what the Lord said. And the Lord said, your parson should have the best suits in the whole of the congregation. Nobody in the congregation should dress up as good as the parson because he is up here and you are down there. That's what the Lord said. That's what the Lord said. So give your money to me and I'll pass it on to the Lord. I am doing the Lord's work. Give your money to me and I will pass it on to the Lord. Some of them bent, them have to repent. Some of them bent, them have to repent. Yes. Some of them bent, them have to repent. Some of them bent, them have to repent. To enter the house of God, you don't need any rent. You could be so poor that you live in a tent. It don't cost you a penny, no, it don't cost a cent. You just render your heart and not your garment. Somebody passing, then too impudent. As a con man, they would be excellent. Then we ask the congregation how much money they spend and tell them, no spend it, so give me your pound and your pence. Send round the plate when everybody present. If it not full up, there is no argument. Tell the congregation that them incompetent and send it back again until they content. Some of them bent, them better repent. Some of them bent, them better repent. Yes. Some of them bent, them better repent. Some of them bent, them better repent. Them have some so-called religion in America. So much fun, well if a follower. Brainwash your brain, turn you in a nutter. Till you don't know start from butter. Then we do anything for the leader. Anything the leader say, then we follow. If him say, drown yourself, then gone a river. If him say, chop off your neck, then gone to chopper. They give the leader millions of dollars. Then live poor like any papa. The leader have a bank account in Geneva, and him have couple palaces in India. We all need something to believe in, but you better watch out for the false preacher. Yeah, God is pounds and pence and dollars. So just watch your pocket, cause of that them after.
Yeah, man. Watch your pocket. May I tell you, man, it just mind-boggling to me. Me I watch them foreign evangelists. Them call them prosperity evangelists. Where I tell you, just send $1,000 and you get it back abundantly and all them things. And people actually send them money. Them man, all of them have a private jet. Big house, that's so big house, they so. Nice cut suit. The people them really believe say, it's God them people they pray to. And God bless them so much that them get all of them things there. Them can't say at them same one I give the preacher the private jet and the big house and whole heap of nice suit and them thing there. It's a terrible thing. It's capitalism gone mad. Yes. Cutting edge, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Motor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, me I listening up, Regine.
Yeah, man. I don't have much time, but the thing is, the housing trust thing what going on right now. I don't know. I have some people around me and make me know, so well, we as a people now privileged to own land. It kind of strange, if you really say, because I can't believe some I live around people who really have them a mindset, yeah.
Of which mindset them have?
Say, we not privileged as a people to own land.
Why them say? Well, why them say that?
It now feasible for we to own land. As Jamaicans, feasible for we to own land. Like, because me look against the word squatters, because being Jamaican, me can't see we are squatters.
Yeah, we're not squatters, but why, what them feel say we're supposed to own? When them feel
obviously,
we're not in a position for, them to go on? Him credit done. Man, credit done. Alright, him credit done, and that's how it go. Can't fight that. But the same old way we not supposed to own. As a matter of fact, we're not supposed to own nothing really. Did you know that it was in the Constitution? It was on the books that black people, the only business venture we should be able to pursue was to sell fish and ground provisions. Yes? Yes. It's not me say so, you know. It was there. I don't know if it's still there. But ground provisions and fish was what we were regulated to in terms of commerce. Wow. Jamaica land we love. Maccabee again.
Them recognize Jamaican as an official language. Known as patois, but patois is English that's broken. But it's not broken, it's a language that's universal, it's spoken. Jamaican, that's the way you talk, me brother Jamaican. That's the way you talk, sister Jamaican. That's the way you talk, me brother Jamaican. Talk how you talk, sister. Not so long ago down in Africa, we were talking African to one another. Some wicked man come cross we border, say we are the slave and say him are the owner. Put we on a big ship together, separate the mother, father, sister and a brother. Put a man from Ghana with a man from Nigeria. Wanna talk Ashanti, wanna talk Yoruba. Try to mix we up so we don't understand. Then forget the African, invent communication. We take them English, put in we African. I touch a Arawak Indian and we get Jamaican. That's how we talk, me brother Jamaican. That's how we talk, sister Jamaican. Talk how you talk, me brother Jamaican. Yeah, man. Everywhere me go, people want learn Jamaican. Them love the sound, them love the vibration, them love the grammar, the word combination. Spoken in Jamaica by the whole of the nation. Some people tell you say you have to talk the English. Them think Jamaican is a lower language. We talk the English when we want, but to listen to this. Out of the English and Jamaican we sound the sweetest. Look at that. Who there? What for? Fiwa. Go away. Where? Look here. Kuya. Here. Yes, sir. Here. Yes, sir. Where are you going? Where you go? Come over here. Come here now. I see. Oh, what are you eating? That's how I am. I saw me tan. Leave me alone. Let me know. Go on. Galang. Fenky, laba, laba. So, bogo, yaga. Pian, chaka, chaka. Re, wara. Can't forget the influence of Rasta. Give them the Ital and the Irie and the Ishens higher. You have your language, you can chat how you are. Nobody can tell you say you can't. Jamaican, that's the way you talk, me brother Jamaican. That's the way you talk, sister Jamaican. Talk how you talk, me brother Jamaican. Talk how you talk, sister Jamaican. That's the way you talk, me brother Jamaican. That's the way you talk, sister Jamaican. Talk how you talk, me brother Jamaican. Talk how you talk, sister. Whether you call it Jamaican or you call it patois, or the language of the people them from Jamaica. It based upon the English, but that no matter. Most languages based upon another. English, it isn't all English, kinda new. Come from other languages like languages do. If you think English is English, true and true, Maccabee has got news for you. Cause words like dingy and bungalow and Bengali, Admiral is Arabic, also safari. Noodle and poodle and swindle and strudel and wrangle and snuggle come from Germany. Hallelujah, Jubilee are from the Hebrew. Bandana is from Hindi, also shampoo. Manager, propaganda, umbrella, influencer. Ghetto studio are Italian too. Kidnap and drip, they are Danish. Sauna is Finnish, brick is Flemish. Biscuit and picnic and trophy and dentist and chauffeur all come from the French language. December, November, October, September comes from the Latin. So does August. Splinter and plug and drug, they are Dutch. You know, see the English in mix.
May I tell you, man, that's how you learn and that's how you teach with the music. So the man I teach you with the music, man, Jamaican language. Okay, a serious thing. Yes, cutting edge.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Give thanks, Muta.
Yeah, man, blessed, man.
Yeah, but as a teacher, one of the things I find out is the youth them don't know any words. So all the beautiful tapes where you play and thing, after the importance is lost because they don't understand words. And so,
like for instance, give me a little example.
For example, just basic little words where you'd expect students, people to know. You explain certain things and you talk and one and two little words. The youth them just don't have no formal word where them know the meanings of. They can read, but they don't know the meaning of basic words. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so as a result, they will be doing you'll be trying to teach them certain things, and after the meaning is lost on them because them not understand basic words. So
no, but when I say as a teacher, give me an example of what you're talking about.
Well, I'm so pent up and nervous to talk to you about the whole thing.
No, but why you nervous? So over phone you there, man.
The correct example.
No, man, then you are saying, man, give me an example of, like, for instance, in your class, simple words that make it difficult for your teacher, the thing where you teach. Or you have to think too long. You're dead here, the thing.
All right. Because of that, we did basically call for talk about still.
Okay, all right.
All right, the main thing we call for talk about is that today, I listen to a tape where you play from long time.
Today? Today, you mean?
Yeah, man.
In the day?
Yeah?
In the day, you listen to it?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I mean, me record it from in the 90s.
Okay. So, me dey on the right track. Come here, tell me I go play some tape from them time. They know me, man, I call about tape.
Yeah, man. So, the tape that you played was a tape on the effects of sugar.
Okay. Yes, for the body, yes.
Yeah, man, with hypoglycemia.
Yes.
Yeah. Where the man has said, boy, it mimic all the psychotic behaviors. The effects of sugar can mimic the most violent psychotic behavior.
Yes.
You can find.
That's why the youth them so hype.
That's why they're not only that's why they're so hype. That's why they are behaving like how they behaving, because in the schools too, the youth them eat pear bag juice and sugar bun.
Yes.
And it's just a barrage of sugar.
Yes.
And the cheese tricks with the MSG, and so all of them things there just come together for give with the same.
Create another monster. But you know, sir, it has been scientifically proven that a lot of where you just talked about a while ago, them kind of behavior there in the children them is caused by the excess of sugar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The tape was saying that too.
Yeah, and to the point where now in Dubai, them have a law now, we say you can't give your children junk food to carry go to school, and you can be charged if when them check the lunch box. I don't know if them go around, police will go around and check the lunch box.
They will, man, in Dubai they do that.
If the amount of sugar exceed the amount where you're supposed to have there, them can charge the parents.
But based on the effects on it, should be criminal.
Yes, it's a drug. It's a drug, man. It's a drug, man.
It's a terrible thing, and the youth them act it out every day. You see it.
Yeah, man.
One of the things them say I use with us, once them sugar level drop, then we just become violent and attack you, and it's like several people can't hold them down.
Yes,
and we see that play out in a school daily.
Of course, it's a drug, man. Definitely a drug. But we say we have to keep hammering this until somebody up there now decides, right, you know, say we're supposed to take a stock of this thing and more than what we really are doing. But we don't have to tell them from so long.
But what I see, them not really have no interest in doing that, you know. Yeah. I think we as a people.
Well, we have to hammer it, and not feed the people too much sugar. Or no sugar at all, yes.
And we have to start our own means of propaganda to educate our children.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we have to do that, and we have to stop look at propaganda as being a bad thing.
No, propaganda is something where you can use for good at the interest of the people, them.
Exactly.
You use propaganda at the interest of the people, them. Marcus Gay have a whole topic about propaganda in them.
Yes, and we need to do that, because even the other day with the Farrakhan thing, we don't hear apart from IRFM, nobody else knows nothing about it. That's because we don't control our own propaganda.
Yes. All right, brethren, give thanks. Yes, sir?
Give thanks.
Yes. Yeah, man, a serious thing. And listen to this. Listen to this.
You try to plant something in the concrete, you know what I mean? If it grow, and the rose petal got all kind of scratches and marks, you're not gonna say, damn, look at all the scratches and marks on the rose that grew from the concrete. You're gonna be like, damn, a rose grew from the concrete? Same thing with me, you know what I mean? I can write all this instead of saying, damn, he did this, just like, damn, he grew out of that, he came out of that. That's what they should see, you know what I mean? All I'm trying to do is I can make good, I can do dirt, nasty, you know what I mean?
The rose it grew from concrete, keeping all its dreams, proving nature's laws wrong. It learned how to walk without having feet. It came from concrete. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong. It learned how to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete, when no one else even cared. No one else even cared. The rose that grew from concrete.
Did you hear? Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete, when no one else even cared.
Keeping all its dreams, proving nature's laws wrong. It learned how to walk without having feet. It came from concrete.
To breathe the fresh air, to breathe the fresh air, to breathe the fresh air. See, you wouldn't ask why the rose that grew from the concrete had damaged petals. On the contrary, we would all celebrate its tenacity. We would all love its will to reach the sun. Well, we are the rose. This is the concrete. And these are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why. Thank God, nigga. Ask me how.
Forward. Yes, cutting edge, yes.
Yes, Uncle Muta, DJ Kev, Alabama.
Yeah, man.
Good day, man. How you do, sir? You know of them documentary I mean love, you know. You know of them all documentary.
Alright.
Lucky. Yeah, man. That's the serious thing, man. I like how this money taper, it touch everything from Constantine to communism and even World Bank right now. What name I it? What name of that one? You remember?
Shadows, man. Shadows 2. Money.
What name?
Shadows 2.
Shadows.
Yeah, it's Shadow. Shadows 2. Money.
Okay. Earlier, I'm here to big up the youth. Then we record the cutting edge and because I believe my children and my children should have listened to them.
I see why when I go out in some place in Africa there, man tell me say they hear the cutting edge, but me not see them and spend no money. And me realize say, oh, YouTube.
But you see, no, say I FM something down here now and a big problem.
No, we get the information says it's on demand. You get the program them on demand.
People are searching them as it done, because they miss it if them go work or them drop asleep. You know, people drop asleep like Brian had drop asleep right now. You know, see it.
Where that, Brian? Where that? Hold on it. Where that? YouTube that. Oh gosh, man. Muta big for YouTube.
That me I swear, man.
You see, look for them. Everybody start look for YouTube, you know that time. Brian was logging for YouTube a while ago and...
Oh, I'm not asleep.
No, your wife not asleep, you know. We get a new co-producer. Right? Assistant Manig. So him can't sleep in Manig in the studio.
Yeah.
I forgot make to go and run. I will tell Caboose I must make to stay here with me till 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
That him not sleep.
Yeah, man. So we have a bit of a yell up, you know.
Yeah,
man.
Why the more that thing with the man show me a while ago on the YouTube, yeah. You know, some never look for it yet, brethren. Because me go at some place and me I wonder how the people them know about the something to them I talk to me about. Me sit down in a Gambia the other day and me sit down in the hotel lobby and some youth come to me and them I talk some things where I hung up on cutting edge and stepping ways and me say them things there. Them say, yeah man, we are the street man, we get it off of YouTube. Me say, what? Serious thing. Now this man has told me some things I know. Them have put a picture with me beside the program them. Brian say all the date.
Yeah.
We have been so naive to them together that we never know we are going out there. What
yeah, we catch up with man. I bet you not yellow up, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Picture like picture the party.
Yes, Martha.
Yes, I'm blessed man.
Yes, Martha. Kush Hunter, you know?
Kush Hunter.
Yeah, Kush Hunter. I'm there in Queens, Alabama, ever link DJ Kev, isn't it?
I want him to link you up with the phone.
Yeah, you see it, I'm there, I listen the whole program from night, you see me, from the documentary, I come straight up to the callers, them, you see it.
Give thanks, man, give thanks.
And you don't know, he's a man ever give me the strength from Rasta and feet and greens alone, them time, you see it, so.
Yeah, everyone I told them, man.
So we have a new thing, Never new thing I know when Ellis Kelly give me a real strength and the country me I say, Sancho boy left Portland.
Boy, you don't say it, come give me. Boy, you know why you sing it on the radio, Rasta. You have to say it, come give me.
Alright, yeah, I go get it tomorrow, cause the producer, I got up on the radio live with Mama Ellis.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Today, yeah.
We just give her a copy.
Yeah, alright, Bridget.
Vaseline said we are now.
Yeah, okay. Give thanks, man.
Yeah, chef, the man you're bringing from Mobile, man.
Me know Vassal, man.
Yeah, man. So big up the whole of Jamaica, Almantown, DJ Smith, Mama Ellis, Triple L Production, you see me, records.
Alright, sir.
DJ Ken said here.
Yeah, man, give thanks. Yes. You there? Click it, man.
Yeah, man, I do work from Reggae King, the body soul boy in the business. Representing for suicide or murder, 3D hardware sound clash. Featuring the body war sound of the business, Reggae King, and you know two dead sound, Poison Dart and Trooper. Saturday, November 8, 2014. Burial spot, Peace Club, Bridgeba, St. Elizabeth. Admission only $1,000. Brought to you by the war organizers, Ross and Tin Entertainment. Early war, late burial, Poison Dart and Trooper got there how them feel like St. Elizabeth.
The advert said that sweet me. Yeah, man. You know, so the brother that shout. But if I say two dead sound feature, that's sweet me. Ricky Troop and the man say I got dead. That's it so sweet, yes. Step in. Cutting edge.
Yeah.
You know, but God, I'm stepping already, you know. I think about the stepping already, you know, yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Rasta.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man, give thanks and praise. Well, I hope I have enough credit card talk today because a $200 gone waiting. Anyhow, I don't know really what's the title about the program tonight. When we wake up and hear they talking about Cuba. It's me I say, see, but these things are not just today, you know, way back, you know what I mean? Because check it, you know, them have a vote over there, and when you check it out, Rasta, all the countries them vote for Cuba, and guess who don't vote for Cuba? America and Israel.
Yeah, but America, they create the embargo, you know, and the country them did a vote to make America stop it. So America never going to stop vote.
You understand? So, may I tell you, I say, I know today, so we could go on and talk a lot about from way back, Lulumba, them king Lulumba, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's another really thing we want to talk about tonight. But to say this and say that, Rasta, you see the people, them, the fathers, them, you know, them to take them children in hand, you see me, I say, in a very special way, teach them about our black history, our great black man who created a lot of things over the years. This is what I say, Rasta. See, because right now in Jamaica, as a teacher say, you know, but what him don't know that majority Jamaican can't spell what them talk, you know. I quiz them on the road many times, you know what I mean? Because if you sit down and know about Elijah Mackay, you see me, I say, the great scientist who ever lived. You know, see, he was an engineer, African American was an engineer. I think he was in the industrial machinery world. You see me, I say, I think I Detroit him come from. You know, I think he invented the drip cup for the island factory.
Alright, him credit gone, you know. Yes, as him just say, yes.
Now my credit done, you know.
No, you already know. I'm ready to talk to you the way I say.
Yes. Actually, I never come from, you know.
Alright, blessed man.
And here what I want to know. This is the cutting edge, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, at the cutting edge. May I listen to you, man?
Listen now. You know, sir. Me, a Chilani man. And you come here and cut that movie with I and I. Me rate you still, you know.
Sankofa.
Me like how you they big up the crowd and everything, and everybody internationally, worldwide that deal with Muta, you know. But watch out now, road boy. You come here, sir, you cut the movie, you know.
Who cut the movie?
You, because you are only man that have the gun in the movie.
They don't mean me cut the movie. Me not understand.
You don't make a film road boy.
No, me no. Wait, no one I don't call me no road boy, man.
Fool in Paradise.
Eh?
Fool in Paradise.
When him so?
Your movie.
Fool in Paradise?
Yes. You come and chill and come make the movie, right?
Hold on. A one movie. Wait, no, make I explain something to you. Me never make no movie. Me get employed for acting a movie.
Yo, you're not for yell. You're not for go so high, you know.
Yeah, but
you see,
no, wait, no.
Eric Bingy.
No, but listen to me, I tell you, man. The movie no name, no Paradise, man. The movie name Sankofa.
I'm in Paradise for the movie the name.
But you know, listen to me, I say. Me say no movie, me no acting no movie name Fooling Apart. The movie name Sankofa.
What? Sankofa?
The movie name Sankofa. The one where me acting now. Me never make no movie in a Trelawney. Me acting a movie where shoot in a Trelawney. Me no make movie, brethren.
Motor.
Yeah. Anyway, what you want about it? What you want about it? So me come a Trelawney, come make a movie and what?
Me want you come back down here now.
For do what?
Represent for whosoever they stand up in the movie.
What did this man, man?
Watch out, don't cut me after. Me know you're good.
Me not cut you, but me not cut you. Bridget, me say me no make no movie. The people that make the movie live a watching time.
And you make it.
Yeah, but you say me come down a Trelawney, come make movie named Fool in Paradise. The movie no name no Fool in Paradise. Me never come down and come make no movie. Me come down and come act in a movie. Me not have nothing to do with the people that who make the movie. The people that make the movie, they are watching time. Where you want me to do? Tell me where you want me to do. Where you want me to do?
You know, the movie never show a jam down there yet.
Yeah, you go ask them that. Me no know.
You organize.
No, but me show the movie all over. Me come at Trelawney, come show the movie already.
Highly respected, you know.
Me say me come at Trelawney, come show the movie more than one time. Me come in at the market, come show the movie. Me show Sankofa. Me have a brethren drive round the whole of Jamaica show the movie there. Me come in at Trelawney market, come show the movie.
Where Trelawney market there?
The craft market.
Wait there.
The craft market, no, you're not Falmouth, man. What you mean wait there? You don't know which part Trelawney market there.
I want a copper spend, you know, say craft market and then tell the people that.
Brethren, you don't know which part, in the center of the town where the craft market there.
But not knock you. You understand?
Yeah, so where you say?
Knock you, Rasta. But what may I say? You see, being a go, then come and then flip that show.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get nothing
out of it.
Out of it.
Yeah.
I'm here say it's a shot overseas.
Yes.
So the movie is nice. So here what
you in there? You did in there?
Of course me did.
Then if you hold on there.
You remember? Listen to what me remember now.
Yeah.
A little young man, him died, you know. Me wonder. But a little young man did see your daughter. And he carry him, go show him the, you know, because when they bought and thing, and he can't go show him the art. But same time, he said, Daddy, the man did not move to right in the railway today. You know what I talk about?
Oh, this man, which man now move?
Eh?
Which man you say now move right?
The youth who, like, him can know how to tame the arts, them, you know. Real arts, you know.
Yeah.
The doctor who done the boy.
Yeah, me understand what you're saying. Yeah, me understand what you're saying. Me understand what you're saying, yeah.
Alright.
Then, oh, you're saying that the hold on there. Hold on. No, hold on. Oh, you say
we can reason.
Yeah, but me I reason with you now. Wait, no. Oh, you say you did in the movie, and you are telling me what me come the movie. Then if you did, but if you did there, you don't know it's not me make the movie. If you did there, oh, you know it's not me.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
You see, you are the only man me see have a gun in the movie. You know, me a little boy them time.
A lie you tell, man. The slave master, them did have gun in there.
You know what they are treating me rash.
Then the slave master, them never did have gun in the movie. You never see the brother hold up a gun and point at me. You never see the slave master, them sit down.
Yes, that's
you know what I mean? I'm the only man in there have gun.
Yo, you did have gun too.
But you don't tell me say me alone in the movie have gun.
Alright.
You just tell me say me alone in the movie have gun.
We're not disclose that because.
Well, me not. They know what movie I want for people, see, man.
The movie named Fool in Paradise.
The movie named Sankofa. Hey, wait a stop talk foolishness. The movie named Sankofa. Sankofa. S-A-N-K-O-F-A. Sankofa. No fool and no paradise. A fool talk you talk. Who tell you that? Who tell you say the movie name fool?
You remember?
Oh, you say you're in the movie. I don't know what the movie name.
Well, man, me did that.
No, you say you're in the movie. You say you're in the movie.
Rasta went there now.
When me I keep up the conversation.
Rasta went there now. And a Rasta stays so boom.
I will leave a Rasta did that. Where there?
In the movie.
Yeah, and what?
And you say, yo, you know what?
Yeah, what? What?
Anyhow, a man can fit this spot here. Make out something there. Give it.
That brother, you want big liar, you know.
Well, I'm a Rasta.
No, you want big liar, you know. It's all me know say you tell lie. You lie, you know.
Remember, Mota.
Brethren, watch out. Me have to move. Where did that brother have him come from? The man say him in the movie. Him say me one have gun in the movie. You see the part of me have the gun is a musket. You have some other people around there with the gun, you know. The slave master up on top of the hill have a gun, you know. The one of the slave them a pint gun at you know. All of the slave master them have gun in the movie. And then them say him in the movie. And then where say the movie name? Something like that, Paradise. Where the man they come from, Rasta? Sure. Come this story about the vibes that's what I know. The movie named Sankofa. And we did come to Trelawney, come show it. Some American where did Akinite come down at Trelawney. Them invite me down there. Them show it in the craft market. A week long a showing in the craft market. Me remember this thing to them invite me come down there. Me never make no movie. Me not have nothing to do with the movie more than the Ethiopian asked me to play a part of the movie. I'm going to play a part of the movie. The other day, me get one copy and me get one of the sisters, the one who pregnant, where them beat to death in the movie. She's a security guard. Me don't remember what she name. Me see her at some fest one night. And what did them people, that's why that's how people do people things, you know. Because, you know, him not get no money, him not know nobody who get no money and fight. Him not see the movie. So him go tell people, say, Muta come down and come make the movie. So Muta, all of them people that will not get no pay, though. You saw the people that we see the movie there? Oh, you find it? YouTube. Is it on YouTube?
That's 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 4 minutes right. Sankofa. You can't find things here, brethren. The man find the movie. They not see me find it. They not see me in there. Anyway, what me I say is that as some people do people things. Because when a man hear him and say, no, me come down, they come make movie. Name what? Something another Paradise. And me tell man say, oh, if you come in at the movie, or no, if you come in at the movie, like say, me are the owner, me are the director and thing. And man, I go say, boy, Muta, come in to come make movie with man and not pay nobody. It's a wicked Rasta man that. You understand? That's what them things they go, you know. Pure wrong information and body, a lie ma tell for me, you know. Lie ma tell for me. And securing and lie, you know. Yeah, man, him secure and I'm lying, man. Anyway. Alright, sir. You find the movie, though. Believe you me. Yes. Cutting edge.
Yeah, motor.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Mr. say him kind of start the vibe.
The man must have get some bad rosemary. He must smoke too much bad rosemary down at Trillana there. And the yam skin never man. Eh?
You see, if I'm more to talk about still, because I tell you, say, it's just like what DJ Kevin said. You see the amount of views what you have on the YouTube there. If they let that chip in $1 to Mutabaruka,
watch out. A Brian sit down here so no one make me aware already on the YouTube, I know. I hear people that are YouTube just go on
YouTube. Rename it.
Eh? YouTube.
They can't rename them can't rename it to MotaTube.
Cutting razor. Cutting razor. The man I watch the movie on TV. The man I watch the Sankofa that. What him does show me say 4 minutes of the Sankofa there, no, I'm not see it. As we speak. Yeah. When we give thanks I did it, give thanks I did it, that means that people can look upon it at them own ledger, listen to it at them own ledger.
Listen to everything from more than 20 years ago. People can't find that. You did it.
All right, sir.
Yeah, just to show you the legendary status for you have, you know.
Yeah, and the movie was 20 years ago too.
You see,
yeah.
We have a question. We know say the government people them, they did free up this brother, Kern Spencer, you know. And it's like we did all she said that gonna happen. But they never really say nothing there about the money. All the money go. You free up the man, but you don't get back the money. All that go. They never said nothing about that.
Them brethren, you know, she said them pay $4 million for saying a man go play. The thing say, how money them spend, you know. They know she them just
it's like it's a straight extortionist and robbery thing.
Them just buy a place in a Trillana for 100 odd million, and so them going to spend another $100 odd million upon it. For do what? That place they don't lose money from it make.
I have to show you all them dangerous. It's like them have in a system where them say you're not supposed to ask no question. Not ask with nothing. We don't have nothing to tell you. You can't do nothing about it.
Terrible.
You know? You see what happened at Burkina Faso last week?
Yeah, man. I mean, what happened?
Something like that needs to rise up in a yard. But it's like, you find out where it's going to start from and where to trigger that off. It's like, you can't know it.
Well, you can't know, you know. Just like in Egypt, you know, the thing just rise up. So you can't know it going to start. But you know, so it going to start.
And you see, it has to start because, you know what? We're going to continue to keep going downhill. The youth them will continue to kill them friends.
Yeah.
And it's like we'll just continue to destroy ourselves. It's like it can't continue like how it's going. And the government they need to start listening to the voices of the youth. Because if they don't start listening, some things are going to change up. Because when you check it out, look on the university, look, even the youth nice students right now, we must have tertiary education. What?
Yeah.
You know? But if you never create that film with a youth the other day, how much time bridging them have a job? How much time bridging them have a job? And enough for you, them just left the school, them have borrowed money, go to school, left the school, can't do nothing. 5 years after that, they don't remember nothing. Them head gone back to blank. And government still say we are doing good. We are doing good now what? We are doing good destroying the people continuously.
Yeah.
So me, I can tell a man, I advise a man. You see, if a man can find a way out of this, probably the best thing that for him. You know?
You mean out of Jamaica?
Can find better out there stuff.
Okay.
Because that's what it's just a two type of prison there. You have one where you have some security man out there watching, and you live in a one. You know? Two gate there, one gate there, up a town there, out of Norman Man Airport. And next one down at Santa Airport there. Two gate that. So if you can't make it through them two gate there, you have to stay in the prison there. And you can't move. And you just continue to just bury down yourself, oppressed every day. Nobody can get nothing for work here. You try everything, no matter how much money you have, it got done. People used to drive them big vehicles 5-10 years ago. Right now, I buy them and look for them thing there.
Yeah.
But they want to get rid of them. Government has suck out everything and you can't ask no question. Nobody not supposed to ask nothing. So a man has to really get wise and know say this
we're going to move now, Bridget, because you're gone back for the same reason, you know. We're going to move.
Yes, I.
Blessed, yeah, give thanks. Yes. 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 Cutting edge. Oh, them gone there, so. All right. So. The man, they just had set me up a while ago. I can't believe that the youth had set me up every year, you know. Click that. Yes. Cutting edge.
Yeah, man. Good night, Muta.
Good night, sir.
Boy, I mean, it's not really a radio man, you know, and I just wake up and have the radio on area and hear the and thing. And since recent, I've been listening Irish.
Which part you start here from?
The documentary on the money.
Money, yes.
Yeah, which kind of grabbed my attention.
Yeah, man.
And Sunday morning too, I listened to this sister in Kabul.
Yeah, me and I did
one morning. Yeah, where she was contemplating about what is happening with the Chinese, them giving the Rhone River land.
Yes.
Yeah, but what baby should not understand, what baby should not really get to yet in it is that one of the things the Chinese them is going after is water, because water is going to be the biggest traded commodity on the planet in the next 10 years. You know, people don't really understand that. But I just quickly want to say something to you still. That in recent times, our Jamaican politicians, they have been doing what you call misdirection, which is a magician's trick. What them do is to shift your attention, the people's attention. It's like what them do with the smoking thing.
Yes.
And shift everybody's attention because Jamaica's like controversy. And when them shift your attention and everybody is doing that, something else slide under the carpet.
For example, give me an example.
Alright, that the same thing with what going on with the Chinese them on the land, whereby first it was the smoking thing where them just hurriedly bam and put it out, you know, refine them now, them just do it quick. And do it from an innocent a ministry that is so innocent. Ministry of Health. They look like them acting on your interest. The same time while deals are being cut, and you say, boy, them got China, and you hear that the deal is basically settled for the island out there, the sea, where them over make up. Goat Island thing. And basically, and come back and say, okay, we're going to Nepal and this and that to get approval, but the thing was already cut and done. And things like these, and what them do is to shift your attention so that people not paying much attention to that, and everybody is arguing over this issue where behind it there is something bigger going on.
Yeah, well, you know, say every week something happening in Jamaica and it can keep up again.
Well, it's several times that them try to do it, you know, but people not aware of it, you know. First it was the smoking issue, then like the ganja thing, they must try and for ride that, but that not seem to get no traction. So, and then keep using these little issues and controversial issues to redirect the people, the nation's attention. I don't want to stay too long for the phone, I know you have more people waiting.
No, the program I got done, you know. It's not that the program I got wait, it's like the program I got done, you know.
No, yeah, but it's really a blessing still. Yeah, that thing they say shadows too, and it's money.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if I could get a copy of something like that.
You can get it on YouTube, man. You know, everybody go on YouTube, brother.
YouTube.
Yeah, but send it to you.
Okay, so Shadows 2 coming out. There's a Shadows 1 too.
Yeah, me did play the Shadow 1 already.
No, you kind of wake about the 2 me.
No. Me played years ago, but why me?
Oh, years. Okay, but
why me play the Shadows 2 is of two things. One, when we are going now with the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah, because it speaks volumes to what is happening right now.
That's why I play that one. That's why I play that one. That's why I play that one. Because it's very right now-ish. You know, it's right now.
It's relevant.
Yeah, all right. Give thanks, Bridget.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah.
How do they get over on us like that? How do they trick us into feeding our children cow's milk instead of human milk? How did they get us to think that it was all right to put chemicals in our food? How did they put that over on us? How did they get mothers to start feeding their babies chemicals made from things they couldn't read, let alone pronounce, and then feed the children boxes, cans, and jars of stuff made from some of the same madness? And how in the name of all that is sane did they manage to get us to sit in front of a square box and not move for hours at a time? When nobody wants to be square and movement is our essence, our heartbeat. How do they get over on us like that? got us wearing the same clothes. Everybody wearing the same clothes, trying to be unique while looking the same, like they all shopping at the same store, and they keep us buying more and more because we gotta have these. They are the latest, greatest, made by poor people to keep them poor. So we don't have to wear last year's gear and we can be on it. Yeah, we on it all right. We on drugs big time. We on drugs big time because they're raiding marijuana fields at the same time they're putting drugs in our food. Caffeine, sugar, artificial color, artificial flavor. Now let me see. If it's got artificial color, artificial flavor, dipotassium phosphate, and mono and diglycerides, does that make it real food? I don't think so. How did they get over on us like that? So they could sell us straight nicotine and hamburgers full of hormones and cloned fruit sprayed with pesticides and waxes, and the taxes we pay to die are killing me. Can't you see why our youth don't feel no way about taking people out today? They are not connected to humanity the way we were. We are probably the last generation of people raised on real food. How did they get over on us like that? Making us have to buy water. Humans are more than 70% water. How did they manage to pollute our water so we have to pay to drink water? Don't you know it's your birthright to have clean water you can drink free? Now let me see. If we can't drink the water, we can't breathe the air, we can't eat the food, and we can't even afford a decent place to live unless we make over $30,000 a year, where does that leave us? It leaves us with young people that have BHT and sodium nitrate instead of blood in their veins. Cold-blooded, ain't it? How did they get us to make zombies out of our children so they would buy anything dangled in front of them in the music videos? And woe is me as they proceed to kill people. They proceed to kill people like turning off the TV by remote, like turning off their computer. Power off, everybody. Or delete their minds, say, after watching cartoons that make buffoons of everybody and playing music video games that kill and destroy old and new life forms. Delete as they murder their own souls, losing control of the fire they've been sitting on, wishing it was them with the Uzi jumping out the window, blazing up the bad, good, innocent with music in the background, driving the flashiest new car, winning the war, the game, the man, the woman, and they sit on that fire staring, eyes fixed until the flame goes out. And in a blue light daze, they go out staring, eyes fixed, glazed, to buy something. They have to buy something. Anything, a candy bar, a box of cereal, a bottle of beer, breath mints, cigars, cigarettes, a knife, a gun, anything to make them feel like a superhero. How did they get over on us like that? And who are they?
How it really go. Time to make the resistance grow. Loose the chain off the floodgate. Stop a little while and meditate. Is a time to know. Progress somehow. Stop living in a dead shadow. Take your future in your hand. Purify this holy land. Come along, jump and prance. This is the anti-pollution dance. Hold me hand, bring your friend too. Make the animal come out of the zoo. Let go those people in a chains. Now is your chance to hold the reins, cause this is the anti-pollution with him. Let go that, we've had enough of him. This is the anti-pollution with him. Killing God's earth is a deadly sin, we say. Check the air that we're breathing in. It's so empty like a big dustbin. Big business create our plight. Them no care if you wrong or right. All them see at the end of the line is pounds and pence and the dollar sign. Leukemia and cancer a come like a terrible neutron bomb. The water bad, the food bad too. Some of them things would have turn you blue. 1 million tons of waste each year. Dashing at the sea, it is wrong, I swear. It bad me no glad, so catch this train. Have to be said to you once again. Is a time to know progress somehow. Stop living in a dead shadow. This is the anti-pollution with him. They got that, we've had enough of him. This is the anti-pollution with him. Killing God's earth is a deadly sin. Nuclear power, them say it good. Me no want it in my neighborhood. Man is killing the birds and bees. All the biggest creatures in the 7 seas. The elephant, them approaching doom. Man too busy, a fly go a moon. The economy is all mixed up. Third world country, them can't get up. Millions spent on a painted picture, but the hungry no eat. Much to be done to help the masses, but the wealthy no see. Because Lord, this is the anti-pollution with him. They got that, we've had enough of him. This is the anti-pollution with him. Killing God's earth is a deadly sin. It's a deadly sin. It's a deadly sin. Killing God's earth is a deadly sin. It's a deadly sin. It's a deadly sin. Killing God's earth is a deadly sin.
Yes, the anti-pollution poem. Once I give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the time and the energy. You know, so we will be here again from 2 to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. You know them really. So, we want to go with something appropriate, you know. Off the wall. Appropriate and off the wall. We can find something appropriate and off the wall. We can find this. Appropriate and off the wall. Here goes.
Do you remember the days of Sunday. Irie FM on Monday. Irie FM on Tuesday. Irie FM on Wednesday. Irie FM on Thursday. Except on Friday is Irie FM, and on Saturday is Irie FM. And you have a next day?